Chapter 337. Suyun initially wanted to bring Xianyu back to Blossom Heart Valley with the rest, but before the two of them could get far, they sensed Jia Shazi's chi. With the speed of Jia Shazi and the other Spirit Star Realm experts, they would not even need the time for an incense stick to burn to catch up to them. Maybe Suyun could shake them off, but Xianyu, Xingyang, and the rest would definitely not be able to escape. Since he couldn't escape, he would kill him. Suyun thought, then took out the Evil King order from his storage ring and placed it behind a large boulder at the outskirts of the stone forest. He activated it and activated the 10,000 evil spirit essences on his body, releasing evil chi that covered the evil chi released by the Evil King order. Jia Shazi and the other three did not even notice the order badge behind the boulder. Suyun's aura was like a rainbow. His sword exploded out. The sword edge released a mournful and terrifying cry and directly rushed forward. "You overestimate yourself." He then bellowed and activated his spirit essences. The spirit chi transformed into two gigantic barriers and rushed towards Suyun's sword. A strange sound like a poisonous snake hissing came out. Suyun's body released a large amount of profound spirit chi, which transformed into a path that was arranged. The immortal mystical scarlet blood sword seemed to be attracted by the trajectory. It quickly spun and slashed at He-Bin. So fast, He-Bin was shocked. He immediately activated his treasure. The robe that he was wearing immediately became sturdy, transforming into a tortoise shell-like armor. When the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword struck out, it only produced sparks and sword marks on the tortoise shell, but was unable to break through the defense. What a joke, Suyun. Maybe you are very strong, but you are a Spirit Star Realm cultivator, yet you dare to challenge for Spirit Star Realm cultivators. Don't you think you are too arrogant? He-Bin said coldly. With one hand forming a palm, he reached towards Suyun's heart. The hand seemed to be able to cut through everything. The protective chi around Suyun's body was directly pierced through, and the palm shot towards his heart. It's over. I never thought that I, He-Bin, would one day be able to challenge those at a higher level. He-Bin's eyes were burning with excitement, as if victory was already within his grasp. But at that moment, the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword's blade suddenly released a gigantic and astonishing evil spirit. It was like a chi barrier that enveloped He-Bin, and its fierce claws directly slashed towards He-Bin's body. Crack! The tortoise shell shattered. Whoosh! The terrible sound of flesh being torn apart rang out. In the blink of an eye, He-Bin was shredded into pieces like a piece of fat meat thrown into a meat grinder. Bait! Lu Xianhai and Long Zhuangshan looked at this scene in shock. Suyun used his body as bait to lure He-Bin to come close and attack him, and then used the strange method to kill He-Bin. It was an extremely risky move. If Suyun's judgment was slow by even a bit, his heart would definitely be pierced by He-Bin, and if he was too hasty and released the evil spirit, He-Bin would definitely be alerted and quickly leave, and the evil spirit would not be able to hold He-Bin. This person was simply using his own life as a wager. Just that, the two of them saw Suyun as ruthless and sinister, but they did not know that Suyun was forced to do so. 1 against 4. If he didn't finish off his opponent quickly, he would only lose. He couldn't afford a protracted battle. Master Jia Shazi. Just then, Lu Xianhai turned his head and shouted at Jia Shazi, who was standing there in a daze. "You're at the peak of the 3rd stage of the Spirit Soul Realm. What are you standing there for? Hurry up and kill this person. Whatever I do, I don't need you to tell me," Jia Shazi said coldly. Then his expression turned sinister and he rushed forward. It had to be said that Jia Shazi's strength was worlds apart from the other three. Upon getting closer, the tyrannical pressure pressed down on Suyun's shoulders, causing his legs to sink in a few inches, making it difficult for him to move. "Suyun, I do not wish to become enemies with you. Or should I say, I have always been against the Profound Sky Sect's evil deeds in recent years. But as a disciple of the Profound Sky Sect, I cannot watch you slaughter my sect members without doing anything. So Suyun, don't resist. Let me capture you and follow me back to the Profound Sky Sect." Jia Shazi bellowed. his body suddenly exploded and actually split into 81 clones, surrounding Su Yun from all sides, surrounding him. 10,000 heavens movement. The 81 doppelgangers roared in unison. Their palms danced in the air, each of their fingers releasing a large number of terrifying light thorns. A total of 810 light thorns were released in a breath of time. Following that, the 81 doppelgangers fused into one, transforming into Jia Shazi's original body. He brandished a dark yellow spear and shot out together with the light thorns. It was an attack that did not have any blind spots, adding that the original body was following closely behind. Even if he dodged the light thorns, it would be difficult for him to defend against the original body's attack. But if he ignored the light thorns and defended against the original body, then he would lose even more miserably. With the interference of the light thorns, unless Su Yun's strength was around the 5th stage of the Spirit Star Realm, he would definitely not be able to withstand the light thorns and defend against Jia Shazi. Die! Jia Shazi thrusted his spear forward, but in the heavy encirclement with nowhere to run, Su Yun, who was dressed in the black cloak, revealed sneer. Huh? Jia Shazi was startled, but when he raised his hand, the black lotus-like ring on his finger flickered. Following that, boom! An ear-piercing explosion sounded out. A halberd with a suffocating scarlet star spirit chi descended from the sky, directly smashing down towards Jia Shazi. Jia Shazi's guts trembled. He immediately changed the direction of his spear and struck the halberd. Bang dong! The spear and halberd clashed, but the power of the halberd was unimaginably strong. Jia Shazi instantly dropped from the sky and crashed on the ground. Lu Xinhai and Long Zhuangshan anxiously looked over, only to see a powerful light giant descending from the sky, landing in front of Jia Shazi, waving the halberd and unleashing a berserk attack. Jia Shazi clenched his teeth. He continued to raise his spear to defend, but it was extremely strenuous. Formless War God Seal. The consummate technique of the sprite's shadow ring. Plop, 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 plop. Su Yun took the chance to blow away the light thorns, then turned and flew away without any hesitation and did not care about Jia Shazi. Not good. Su Yun wants to escape. Stop him, Lu Xinhai said sinisterly, and immediately gave chase. After flying for a while, Su Yun rushed into the stone forest and landed beside a stone pillar, holding onto the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword. He turned around and looked at the two people chasing after him. Su Yun, don't even think of escaping. Just obediently give up. Long Zhuangshan roared. Give up? With just the two of you? 2 second stage Spirit Star Realm existences? You're looking down on 2nd stage Spirit Star Realm cultivators? Su Yun, don't forget, there are 2 of us. If it was just one of us, we might be afraid of you. But with the 2 of us attacking together, even if we can't defeat you, we can still restrict you. And when Master Jia Shazi arrives, the 3 of us will definitely work together to kill you. Long Zhuangshan roared. That means to say, you guys plan to bully me with numbers? We are bullying you with numbers. So what? Go and die. Lu Xinhai sneered and rushed forward. So. When he moved, 2 black light beams suddenly shot out from behind, piercing through Lu Xinhai's body like arrows, and instantly pinned him onto a stone pillar. Su Yun took the opportunity and slashed forward. Pucci! The immortal mystical scarlet blood sword sliced through Lu Xinhai's neck and instantly sliced his head off. Blood spurted into the sky, dyeing the stone pillar red, and Lu Xinhai's body twitched frantically. Su Yun waved his arm again and added on a few more slashes, instantly slicing Lu Xinhai's body into pieces. Lu Xinhai was dead. Another Spirit Star Realm expert had fallen. Long Zhuangshan was stunned. Just then, a large amount of evil chi floated to his side, causing Long Zhuangshan to regain his senses. He hurriedly turned around and saw a large boulder not far from him. There was an order badge lying quietly on the ground. The order badge was overflowing with evil chi and transformed into a small whirlpool door. 2 figures walked out from the door. Looking at their spirit chi, they were obviously first-stage spirit star realm experts, although they were not as strong as Long Zhuangshan. But there were two of them. The two of them had black skin and red eyes, with evil chi surging frantically. Long Zhuangshan's nerves twitched, and he stuttered, These are evil realm beings. It's time to end this. Su Yun's eyes became calm, holding onto the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword that was dripping with blood. He walked towards Long Zhuangshan. When Kuang Yuxie and Huang Dongzhang's sneak attack landed on Lu Exine High, Su Yun knew that he had won the battle. Under Su Yun's intentional release of evil qi, the evil qi from the Sovereign King's badge was concealed, and the two of them did not sense it at all. He had purposely lured the two of them over, with the goal of borrowing Huang Dongzhang and Kuang Yuxie's hands to get rid of them first. Master Sovereign King, is it him? Huang Dongzhang held onto his staff, his demonic eyes staring coldly at Long Zhuangshan. Master, after you kill them, can you reward this subordinate with their corpses? Kuang Yuxie stared at Long Zhuangshan greedily, saliva flowing out of the corner of his mouth. Don't speak so much nonsense. The opponent is a second-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. You better not be careless. If you are not careful, you might lose your life. Su Yun bellowed. He waved his sword, and 1,000 flying swords flew out, enveloping Long Zhuangshan. Huang Dongzhang and Kuang Yuxie did not dare be negligent. Although the two of them had crossed worlds to support Su Yun, they were still a stage lower than Long Zhuangshan, and even if the two of them joined hands, they might not be able to defeat him. There was only one urgent matter at hand, and that was to take advantage of Jia Shazi's time to react and get rid of Long Zhuangshan. Don't look down on me. Facing the attacks of 3 Spirit Star Realm experts, Long Zhuangshan displayed his hot-bloodedness. He clenched his teeth, his eyes were bloodshot, staring at the enemies in front of him. He suddenly waved his fists. Bang! 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 A few thousand punches landed solidly on the 3 people's chests, with Su Yun receiving the most punches. The punches did not directly cause any injuries, but to disrupt the profound spirit chi in their bodies. After a few thousand punches, the 3 people's mystical techniques actually dissipated and could not be condensed at all. The 3 of their faces changed. Very good. Just then, a joyous shout came out. The formless war god seal had disappeared. Jia Shazi had escaped. He leapt into the air, his hand grabbing towards his heart, his 5 fingers releasing a blood-colored halo, quickly transferring to the spear in his hand. The spear body instantly turned red and then shot towards Su Yun's head. It was such a dazzling strike, without any unnecessary movements, without a trace of sluggishness. Even the profound spirit chi was used perfectly. Roar! The moment the terrifying spear neared Su Yun, it suddenly transformed into an astonishing blood dragon. What? Su Yun's heart jumped. He immediately activated the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword to block, but with his profound spirit chi dissipating, the 1,000 swords all fell to the ground. He was unable to activate any mystical techniques. What else could he use to block? Damn it! I have underestimated Long Zhuangshan. Su Yun clenched his teeth. He could only dodge with all his might. Teleportation. Just at that moment of life and death, Huang Dongzhang suddenly roared. Chill! The 3 of them suddenly released a black light, and their vision blurred. When their vision stabilized, the 3 of them were already a few hundred meters away. What? Long Zhuangshan was shocked. You can use mystical techniques without profound spirit chi. This mystical technique does not require profound spirit chi. It only requires the evil blood. Huang Dongzhang raised his left hand and sneered. The back of his hand was already broken, and black blood was still flowing. I have underestimated Huang Dongzhang. Su Yun heaved a sigh of relief and thought. Chapter 338. It was 3 against 2, but in terms of overall strength, Su Yun's side did not hold the advantage. Jia Shazi's strength was higher than Su Yun, and Long Zhuangshan's cultivation was higher than Huang Dongzhang and Kuang Yuxie by an entire stage, so he alone could fight against the 2 brothers. Fighting with my lord is indeed different. The enemies I face here are all abnormally powerful existences. Huang Dongzhang said in a low voice, but his tone was no longer as relaxed as before. Senior brother, you can't be afraid, right? Huang Yuxie said arrogantly. His gaze was blazing, and there was not a hint of fear on his boorish face. Scared? How is that possible? Huang Dongzhang said solemnly. All I want to say is that our strength is inferior to the other parties. We can only win with our wits and not with brute force. Outwitted? How do we outsmart him? Huang Yuxie was startled. This. Huang Dongzhang lowered his head and pondered for a moment. Then he said seriously, I haven't thought of a countermeasure yet. Su Yun, Huang Yuxie, you go deal with the two evil beings. I'll go capture Su Yun. Do it. Jia Shazi bellowed and rushed forward. He was so fast that the two evil realm beings could not even catch a glimpse of him. Follow me. Just then, Su Yun bellowed. He raised his profound spirit chi and controlled the 1,000 swords to attack Jia Shazi. Then, he turned and rushed towards Martial Bone Mountain. The two evil beings did not dare to hesitate. They quickly turned into two streams of black smoke and followed Su Yun. Trying to run? Jia Shazi snorted. He transformed into a grain of sand and flew with the wind. Lord Jia Shazi, wait for me. Long Zhuangshan roared loudly, but he did not fly in the air. Instead, he ran, causing the ground to tremble as his footprints appeared one after another. Su Yun stepped on the immortal mystical scarlet bloodsword. Looking ahead, he increased his speed. Behind him, Huang Dongzhang and Huang Yuxie could barely keep up. Sir, where are we going? That supreme being is about to catch up. Huang Dongzhang turned his head to look behind him and said solemnly, Just follow me. Su Yun shouted. The two of them did not dare to disobey his orders and could only follow. Su Yun flew to the top of Martial Bone Mountain and then slowed down his speed. Bang! Bang! Jia Shazi, who was behind them, had already caught up. The red spear in his hand swung a few times in the air, and two rays of light shot out from the tip of the spear, striking Huang Dongzhang and Huang Yuxie. The two of them only cared about escaping. By the time they noticed the attack, it was already too late for them to defend themselves. Both of them were hit and fell from the sky. Mountain crash. I'll leave these two to you. I'll go take care of Su Yun. Jia Shazi said. He did not care about the two evil beings on the ground and directly rushed towards Su Yun. Whoosh! The spear once again pierced through the air. The spear's body flashed with red light. Following his movements, it once again exploded from the spear tip, flying towards Su Yun. Bang! Su Yun's body was struck by the spear light. He fell from the sky and fell to the ground, rolling 2 rounds before stopping. He stood up with difficulty, his eyes revealing a trace of unwillingness. Jia Shazi's eyes were filled with suspicion. How did Su Yun get hit so easily? The two evil beings were not as fast as him, so it was expected that they would be hit, but he had to be careful, afraid that it was a trap. Jia Shazi's eyes swayed. He looked around. They were already close to the top of the cliff. There was nothing to hide around. There was only a pitch-black tombstone. The tombstone did not look strange, and Su Yun was lying not far from it. If there was anything strange, it would definitely be the tombstone. But what can a tombstone do? Just then, Su Yun stood up. Jia Shazi's hesitation seemed to have given him time to escape. He once again took out his flying sword, and from the looks of it, he was prepared to escape. Seeing that, Jia Shazi could not hold it in anymore. He held on to his spear tightly and rushed forward. But, just as he rushed forward, Su Yun, who was preparing to escape, suddenly turned, with one hand grabbing onto the immortal mystical scarlet bloodsword in the air. He turned around and slashed at Jia Shazi. Oh! Jia Shazi's mind tensed up and immediately used his spear to block. Just that, he had placed all of his attention on Su Yun and did not notice Huang Dongzhang and Huang Yuxie, who had abandoned Long Zhuangshan and were rushing towards him. The two of them used all of their profound spirit chi. Converging it into their arms, they struck towards Jia Shazi at the same time. Ah! The two of them roared, releasing all of their chi. What? Jia Shazi suddenly turned his head to look behind him, but it was too late. Bang! Jashazi was instantly sent flying, crashing towards the tombstone. When he neared the tombstone suddenly released an irresistible suction force, swallowing Jashazi inside. Jashazi immediately disappeared. Fragmented void door. Long Zhuangshan was shocked. That's right. Su Yun patted the dust on his body. His expression became calm again. He looked at Long Zhuangshan and said, Jashazi will not be able to come out for a while, but we can still continue. With that said, the three of them surrounded Long Zhuangshan. This time, it was 1 against 3, adding Su Yun, who was a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Long Zhuangshan had no chance of winning. His face was pale white. His entire body trembled slightly. He retreated a few steps. Finally clenching his teeth, he suddenly turned and leapt up to escape. At that moment, he could only escape to preserve his life. You want to run? Kuang Yuxia laughed sinisterly and was about to give chase. Don't chase, Su Yun bellowed. The two of them were startled. Master, why don't we follow up with our victory? With the strength of the three of us, we can definitely take care of him. I also wish to kill him, but previously we had already killed 2 Spirit Star Realm cultivators. With the death of 2 Spirit Star Realm cultivators, the Profound Sky Sect will definitely be shocked and will most likely send even stronger experts to support us. If Long Zhuangshan wants to live, he will definitely run towards the location of those experts. And if we chase after them, we will definitely meet with them. And if we meet them, we will most likely be completely wiped out. Su Yun kept the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword back into the sword sheath and said indifferently, In the future, we will have time to deal with the Profound Sky Sect. There is no need to be anxious. Hearing that, the two of them nodded their heads as though they understood. Since the two of you are here, don't be in a rush to leave. Follow me first. I still have some matters that I need your help with. To be able to serve Master is this subordinate's honor. Master, please do not be so courteous. The two of them knelt down on one knee and said sincerely, Since we are fighting side by side, then we are no longer subordinates and masters. We are already friends. Naturally, we have to be courteous when asking for help from friends. Su Yun laughed. He did not know if the evil realm beings would buy it, but there was nothing wrong with being kind to people. Relying on his prestige to tame his subordinates was not a long-term plan. The two of them looked at each other, but did not say a word. After leaving Martial Bone Mountain, Su Yun rushed towards Blossom Heart Valley. The two of them were too dense with evil chi, so he could only arrange for them to wait for orders in the forest outside of Blossom Heart Valley, while he himself quickly entered the valley. At this moment, Blossom Heart Valley was in an uproar. The disciples of Blossom Heart Valley were busy going in and out, as the sudden arrival of a large number of Su family people caused Blossom Heart Valley to be filled to the brim. Su Xianyu and Su Xingyang had already taken care of the injured people who escaped from the Su family. Fortunately, all the disciples of Blossom Heart Valley were doctors, so the medical resources were not tight. Big Brother Yun, seeing Su Yun in a cloak, Su Xianyu, who was still taking care of the patients, immediately shouted out in joy. Ah, it's young Master Su Yun. Young Master Su Yun is back. Did he beat back all the people from the Profound Sky Sect? Inside the valley, the Su family members who were still waiting for their accommodations saw Su Yun walking over. They all stood up, and some of them warmly greeted Su Yun, but most of them were trembling and did not dare look at Su Yun. When Su Yun was in dire straits, many people ridiculed Su Yun behind his back. Of course, there were also many people who ridiculed and insulted him. Most of them were from the inner sect. You guys, the river flows 30 years east, 30 years west. Do you understand now? A person in dire straits is nothing. Sooner or later he will soar. This time, if not for young Master Su Yun saving us, I reckon we would all have died in the hands of the Profound Sky Sect. Now, young Master Su Yun is the patriarch of our Su family. Whoever he wants to die, that person will die. A white-haired old man stood up and angrily rebuked the people from the inner sect. He was an outer sect disciple and had been bullied by the people from the inner sect. But now, There was no distinction between the inner and outer sect, so he spoke bluntly. Although he said that, Suyin did not have much feelings for the Su family. They only insulted him when he was in dire straits, so he did not want to take their lives. Furthermore, the people from Blossom Heart Valley were here, so he could not find them to settle accounts. What about the main family of the Su family? Suyin looked around and asked. Most likely they died while covering our retreat. A middle-aged man walked over, bowed to Suyin, and said respectfully. He was the 7th elder of the Su family, but his cultivation level was not high. Is that so? Suyin thought for a moment and said, the Su family staying in Blossom Heart Valley is not a long-term plan. 7th elder, I will inform Senior Pill King later, and let the people of Blossom Heart Valley prepare the herbs and supplies for you. Let everyone prepare, and quickly leave Blossom Heart Valley tonight. Leave tonight? The 7th elder was obviously stunned. Many of us are injured. If we leave like this, where can we go? The matter of the Su family staying in Blossom Heart Valley cannot be hidden from the Profound Sky sect, and with my appearance, I am afraid that the Profound Sky sect will soon send experts to kill the Su family and capture me back. Blossom Heart Valley is in danger, and this place cannot protect you, so you must leave as soon as possible. Once the experts of the Profound Sky sect come, no one can stop them, Suyin said, and turned towards the Pill King Pavilion. The people of the Su family looked at each other and looked at each other. Maybe in the hearts of many people, they still did not understand how strong the Profound Sky sect was. Entering the Pill King Pavilion, Suyin explained the situation to the Pill King. What kind of strength was the Profound Sky sect? Although Blossom Heart Valley had a good reputation, but in this world, fists were important and words were useless. Although the Pill King was not afraid, if the Profound Sky sect really came to kill them, they would not be able to stop them. The only thing they could do now was to let the Su family leave quickly. At least they could find a chance of survival. After discussing with the Pill King, Suyin immediately led Kuang Yuxie and Huang Dongzhang to leave. If he stayed in Blossom Heart Valley, he would only attract the enemy's attacks, so leaving now was the best choice. The three of them left Blossom Heart Valley, and, under Suyun's lead, they headed towards the direction of Marshallbone Mountain. Huang Dongzhang and Kuang Yuxie were confused. They did not know what Suyin wanted to do. Suyin brought the two of them to a ravine, and then took out a black pendant from his neck and imbued profound spirit chi into it. Voila! In a moment, the black pendant released a black light. It was activated. Chapter 339. The black locket spun out a dark shadow, and with a speed that the naked eye could not see, it entered Suyun's head. The moment the shadow entered his head, a voice sounded out in his mind. Is chi? He. Did you change to a new master? A slightly lazy male voice floated over. New master? Isn't it that old man, Su Li Xiong? Haha, I wonder what you look like. Who are you? Another female voice floated out. What happened to Su Li Xiong? Is he dead? How did you obtain this shadow locket? Snatched? Stole? Or cheated? Who are you? Tell me. A series of voices sounded out in his mind, causing him to become impatient. Suyin endured the impatience in his mind and said, I am Suyin. Suyin? At the same time, a voice of shock came out in his mind. The Suyin wanted by the Profound Sky sect? The traitor of the Su family? The shadow locket actually landed in your hands? What? Did you kill Su Li Xiong? I did not kill Su Li Xiong. He died in the hands of the Profound Sky sect, and before he died, he passed this to me. All right, everyone, since I have obtained this, then I am your new master. Now, you can introduce yourselves and tell me your information. Of course, if you are not willing to be loyal to me, you can ignore me, as long as you do not use this to contact me in the future. Suyin made his words clear. Your words are still so arrogant. But I like your personality. You're much better than that old man, Su Li Xiong. He always looks so serious. But in truth, he is not a good person. Su Li Xiong is dead? We did receive news of the Profound Sky sect eradicating the Su family, but we did not expect him to die so quickly. All right. Enough with the nonsense. the lazy male voice said with a serious tone. Let me introduce myself to you. Now that you've obtained this locket, we'll be loyal to you. Although we're rude and disrespectful, we're all loyal to the owner of this locket. My name is Great Obscure, and I'm the leader of the Dark Shadow Squad. I'm Shadow 2, my new master. The female voice with a hint of a smile rang out. I'm Dark 3, a simple and honest male voice rang out. Shadow 4, and Wu. The last two voices belonged to a man and a woman, and they sounded abnormally cold and indifferent. Haha, master, please don't take it to heart. Shadow 4 and Dark 5 are more introverted and don't really know how to talk. Master, please forgive them. Ha ha ha. Dark laughed. Su Yun was speechless. After a moment, he regained his senses and took a deep breath. Have all of you already infiltrated the Profound Sky Sect? Not bad. We are the intelligence unit groomed by the previous patriarch and have served the Su family for over 10 years. This time, we were appointed by the patriarch, Su Lixiong, to infiltrate the Profound Sky Sect and provide intelligence to the Su family. Great Obscure retracted his lazy attitude and said seriously, I need all of you to gather information from the Profound Sky Sect, and I want to know how the Profound Sky Sect is going to deal with the Su family. Su Yin said, Profound Sky Sect against the Su family? My master, in truth, it is just a small trick of the Profound Sky Sect's lord. Great Obscure said, the Profound Sky Sect has already launched over 30 operations to capture misty, but without exception, all of them ended in failure, causing the lord to lose all face and is furious. Because of that, he wants to punish the Su family and slaughter everyone in the Su family. Just for that, Su Yin was secretly surprised. The current lord is no longer the lord of the past. He can easily kill an old man who has served the Profound Sky Sect for many years just for a small matter. The current lord is someone who will not rest until he achieves his goal. In truth, the massacre of the Su family is not just for that. He hopes to lure you out and use that chance to capture Miss Qing. But he miscalculated. The current you is no longer the past you. You are a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator, and you're not someone who can be easily captured. Great Obscure laughed. I want to know how many Spirit Star Realm cultivators there are in the Profound Sky Sect. Su Yun's eyes narrowed. In just a few days, I've already met 5. Such an existence should be the leader of a sect. The scale of the Profound Sky Sect might exceed your expectations. So, it is reasonable for there to be so many Spirit Star Realm experts loyal to them. Master, in truth, when we first met them, we were shocked as well, but you do not have to worry. The Profound Sky Sect does not have many Spirit Star Realm experts, and the few that were sent to capture, you can all be considered as potential clan elders. Potential clan elders? You mean to say the Profound Sky Sect's clan elders are all Spirit Star Realm cultivators? Yes. How many clan elders are there? 5. If that's the case, then the Profound Sky Sect has more than 10 Spirit Star Realm experts. Su Yun's eyes flickered. Thinking back to the time when they first participated in the meeting of heroes, the Profound Sky Sect only sent Spirit Soul Realm cultivators to participate in the competition. From that, it could be seen that the Profound Sky Sect did not place any importance on the meeting of heroes, and the participation was just to confuse everyone. If not, they only needed to send one Spirit Star Realm cultivator to sweep through all the powerhouses and sects, and even the Lord of the Congregative Treasure sect would have to bow down to them. This sect had hidden itself so deeply. Out of the 4 people that went to capture Master, 2 of them have already died, and the death of 2 Spirit Star Realm cultivators is a huge loss to the Profound Sky Sect. The Lord will not let this matter rest. I believe that in less than an hour, the clan elders of the Profound Sky Sect will move out and attack Blossom Heart Valley. Master, if you are still in Blossom Heart Valley, please leave as soon as possible and hide for the time being. Great Obscure said, I understand. Su Yin nodded his head. Following that, Great Obscure told Su Yun about the Profound Sky Sect's basic situation. With that, Su Yun had a basic understanding of the Profound Sky Sect. Who exactly is the Lord of the Profound Sky Sect? Do you know what his cultivation is? What is his goal? Lord? I am extremely sorry, Master, although we are like fish in water in the profound sky sect, but we do not have the qualifications to meet the Lord, and there is very little information regarding the Lord. We only know that the current Lord ascended to the position 70 years ago. His cultivation, his background, we do not know anything, and even if he is a man or a woman, we do not know. As for his goal, I believe it is simple. It is most likely for the supreme power. Isn't that the reason why countless of spirit cultivators do such heartless things? Then do you know of the profound sky sex plan? The plan to use the entire sky Marshall continent as the foundation to create a large formation? So Yin asked again. With that said, Great Obscure and Second Shadow were obviously shocked. I never thought that, although Master is not in the profound sky sect, but you already know of the plan? Second Shadow muttered. Great Obscure was also startled and said, with regard to this information, we have spent a lot of effort to gather it. It is said that the construction of the formation has been done by a few sect leaders, and this formation is related to Miss Ching-er. It was created according to the personal records left behind by the first sect leader of the Profound Sky sect, and there was a group of specialized people who created it. In truth, there are many people in the Profound Sky sect who did not participate in this project, and many of them do not even know of it. Tell me, if I destroy this formation, will the Profound Sky sect give up on capturing Ching-er? That is most likely impossible. Let's not talk about whether Master is able to accurately find the tens of thousands of formation points. But even if you find it, you will not be able to destroy it easily. Many of the formation points have experts guarding them, especially the high-level formation points. They have spatial imprints, and the experts of the Profound Sky sect can easily go to the formation points to provide support. If Master attacks the formation points, you will only suffer from the intense pursuit of the Profound Sky sect. Great Obscure said, to destroy such an unprecedented super formation by himself was truly a fantasy. Even if Su Yun was lucky enough to destroy a few tens of them, the Profound Sky sect only needed to lie in ambush at the formation points and wait for Su Yun's ambush, and Su Yun would be in danger. Su Yun started to think, what? Are you telling the truth? Right at this moment, Shadow 2 suddenly exclaimed in a low voice that was filled with shock. What's wrong? Su Yun frowned. Great Obscure said, Master, Fifth Shadow has just reported the latest information. The Profound Sky sect has already sent a group to Blossom Heart Valley to capture you. And this time, they actually sent out their clan elder. Clan elder? Su Yun was secretly surprised. If Jasha Z was a substitute clan elder, then based on his initial judgment, the clan elder was at least a fourth-stage spirit star realm cultivator. But Master, you do not have to be wary of this clan elder. The one you should be most careful of is the person that is going with them. Just then, Great Obscure added, Who? The Profound Sky sect's elite Sly. Sly? Yes, Sly. He is one of the 81 elites of the Profound Sky sect. He is a vicious and merciless person. He is extremely malicious. His cultivation is unknown. His appearance is unknown. But what is terrifying about him is not his strength, but his flawless disguise technique. It is said that he has a disguised treasure that no one can see through. With that, he can change into anyone's appearance without being detected. Even Spirit Star Realm cultivators will find it hard to see through his disguise. So, Master, you better be careful. If he makes a move, you must be wary of everyone around you. Great Obscure said seriously. Hearing that, Su Yun did not speak for a long time. Master, what do you plan to do next? Seeing that Su Yun did not speak for a long time, Great Obscure could not help but ask, when do they plan to reach Blossom Heart Valley? Suddenly, Su Yun asked in his mind. With their speed, they will reach Blossom Heart Valley from the Profound Sky sect in less than half an hour. Half an hour, huh? Su Yun scratched his chin and thought. Just then, a light flashed past his mind. He turned to Kuang Yuxie and Huang Dongzhang and bellowed, Quick, follow me. With that said, he took out a flying sword and threw it into the air, then stepped on the sword body and flew into the horizon. Kuang Yuxie and Huang Dongzhang looked at each other. They completely did not understand what Su Yun wanted to do. They looked at each other, their heads filled with confusion. Chapter 340. Inside Blossom Heart Valley, the disciples carried baskets filled with herbs and hurriedly shuttled back and forth between the rooms. There were injured people wandering around the valley. They had all been treated, but many of them were so seriously injured that it was difficult for them to walk. They could only lie on the wooden planks and be carried by two people who were not seriously injured. One after another, the Sioux family gathered at the open space outside the valley entrance. The sun gradually set. According to Su Yun's instructions, they should leave Blossom Heart Valley. Are you all ready? The Sioux clan's seventh elder turned his head and asked the several middle-aged men beside him. It's about time, elder. The supplies are ready. We can go at any time. A few of them said in a low voice. They were about to leave, but no one knew where to go since the Profound Sky sect wanted the Sioux family dead. Even Blossom Heart Valley could not protect the Sioux family. So who would dare to accept them? Don't worry, everyone. There's always a way out. Since the Sioux family has not been completely wiped out by the Profound Sky sect, we will not be destroyed. We will find another place and rebuild the Sioux family. One who survives a great disaster is bound to have good fortune later on, the seventh elder said optimistically. The few of them smiled bitterly, but no one said anything. I will send a team of Blossom Heart Valley disciples to take care of you on the way. The Joyful Heart region near the Southern Sea is not a bad place. It's a big place with few sections. There aren't many conflicts there, and the people are simple and honest. You guys can escape there first. A slightly aged voice sounded. Everyone turned around and saw the king of medicine walking out of the valley accompanied by his disciples. The seventh elder and the others quickly cupped their fists and respectfully greeted, "Greetings, Master Medicine King." You don't have to be so polite. Yao Wang waved his hand. The Sioux family has met with a great calamity. This time, it is all thanks to the timely help from Blossom Heart Valley. If not, the Sioux family would not exist. This kindness, our Sioux family will forever remember it. The seventh elder said gratefully. Saving lives and helping the injured is Blossom Heart Valley's way of establishing the world. We are just fulfilling our obligations. Everyone, please do not take it to heart. Pill King laughed. All right, it's getting late. All of you better be on your way. I've received news that the Profound Sky sect side is making a move. When the seventh elder and the others heard this, their hearts suddenly jumped. Is that so? Then I won't stay for long. As soon as he finished speaking, the seventh elder shouted for everyone to speed up and get ready to set off. There were nearly 10,000 people in the Sioux family, and most of them were sick. It was easy to imagine how difficult it would be to bring these people out. Even the seventh clan elder was injured. The spirit essences in his body were mostly crippled, and it was difficult for him to gather profound spirit chi. Whoosh! At this moment, a slender red light descended from the sky and landed at the entrance of the valley. The red light was like a falling meteor. It had a ferocious aura, and its speed was unbelievably fast. The people at the entrance of the valley did not even have time to react. By the time they heard the sound of the red light tearing through the air, the red light had already landed on the ground. Watch out! Pill King growled and rushed forward. A burst of spirit life, chi flew out from his body and collided with the red light. Bang! A loud sound rang out. The red light was blocked in midair and exploded. The destructive aura swept out in all directions like a rain of knives. Everyone retreated in unison, looking for cover. The stronger ones used their magic arts to resist, while the weaker ones were struck by the destructive aura and were directly sent flying. Some people who were already injured were directly smashed to death. The scene was a scene of chaos. Pill King was a doctor and trained in spirit life chi. He was not suited for battle, and with the sudden attack of the red light, he had no choice but to face it head-on. The destructive power of the red light was much more astonishing than expected. Even if Pill King was to face it head-on, it was hard for him to hold on. When the red light exploded, the destructive aura was the first to strike Pill King. His frail body was instantly smashed to the ground by the aura, creating a huge crater on the ground. Pill King stood up with difficulty, but upon standing up, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Clan Elder, Master Pill King! Everyone exclaimed and rushed over anxiously. The spirit essences in my body have been shaken. The opponent is very powerful. All of you are not his match. Don't come over. Pill King shouted. Everyone stopped in their tracks and looked at Pill King in shock. Just then, they heard an imposing voice coming from the sky. In the end, you are Pill King. Although your strength is lacking, but your keen senses are truly unexpected. But you dare to interfere with our profound sky sect and obstruct us from saving the Sioux family. Good. Very good. All of you are acting recklessly against us, so don't blame us for being merciless. With that said, a figure rushed down and landed steadily on the ground. It was an old man dressed in a fiery red robe. He was tall and slender and did not look sturdy, but he had a head full of red hair and a red mustache. His spirit chi was extremely powerful, and compared to Pill King, the difference was like heaven and earth. You are. Pill King raised his sunken eyes and looked at the man rushing over, his face full of shock. You are one of the 5 clan elders of Profound Sky Sect, nicknamed Sobbing Blood Old Man, Clan Elder Chan Yu Shui. Ha! Pill King has some knowledge, but today you have obstructed me from getting rid of the Sioux family, which means you are an enemy of my Profound Sky Sect. I cannot let you live, so don't blame me for being merciless. Chan Yu Shui said coldly. Without any hesitation, he punched out. His fist was covered with a blood-red glove, and a tyrannical, true divine spirit chi surged out. Seeing that, Pill King raised his hand to block, but it was futile. Although his medical skills were heaven-defying, and no one could compare to him, but his cultivation was not high. He was not even in the Spirit Star realm. So how could he contend against Sobbing Blood Old Man Chong Yu Shui, who was at the peak of the 4th stage of the Spirit Star realm? Everyone around were stunned. Senior brother, Guamo Ju, who had rushed over, shouted out anxiously. At that moment, who else in Blossom Heart Valley could contend against him? The people of the Sioux family were petrified. They stood rooted to the ground. No one dared to help, and at that moment, no one dared to make a sound. Shio! Just then, a blood-red light shot down from the sky like a red lightning. The sword tip accurately aimed at Sobbing Blood Old Man's heart. Although he was unable to block Sobbing Blood Old Man's attack, but if Sobbing Blood Old Man continued to attack Pill King, once he killed Pill King, he would not be able to block the red lightning. Besiege way to save Zhao. Sobbing Blood Old Man's eyes flickered. He suddenly retracted his fist. He turned and retreated 3 steps. Crack! The red lightning fiercely struck right in front of Pill King. Dust flew everywhere. The ground trembled, and the astonishing pure divine spirit chi swept out like a tornado. Is that swift wind spirit chi? Why is it even more powerful than swift wind spirit chi? Sobbing Blood Old Man looked at the red lightning in shock. It was actually a sword, and immediately he turned and roared, "Who are you?" The person you yearn for day and night. Yearn for day and night. Sobbing Blood Old Man was startled. He turned to look, only to see a pale white man wearing a cape walking over. He carried a pitch-black sword on his back, and a large sword sheath by his waist. His entire body was enveloped in a dense spirit chi, which was similar to the spirit chi emitted from a sword. Seeing him, Sobbing Blood Old Man's withered mouth opened up. "Oh, if I'm not wrong, you must be Su Yun. You're still considered smart." Su Yun walked over and pulled out the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword, and looked at Sobbing Blood Old Man quietly. "Brat, didn't you leave?" Pill King looked at Su Yun in shock. "The Profound Sky Sect people came faster than I thought. The Sioux family did not leave in time. How can I just leave like that?" "You didn't go far?" "I guess so." Pill King shook his head and did not say anything else. 3rd stage Spirit Star Realm cultivation, but your cultivation does not seem to be stable and is considered low grade in the 3rd stage. Su Yun, you want to fight against me, an existence that is about to break through the 4th stage and enter the 5th stage of the Spirit Star Realm? You must be dreaming. If I were you, I would kneel down and accept your surrender and not resist to avoid suffering. Sobbing Blood Old Man Chang Yu Xia looked at Su Yun and released a low and strange laugh. "Can't you guys change your words?" Su Yun made a gesture of scratching his ear and looked annoyed. "I've been listening to it every day. to the point that my ears are getting calluses. It's always the same lines. Can't you guys change it? He opened his eyes. His expression became focused, his eyes filled with evil chi as he looked at sobbing blood old man. He had already been mistaken as an evil realm being by the entire continent. Since that was the case, there was nothing to hide. When I killed Shinhong at Wushuangju Peak, she said the same thing to me, and after that, when we fought against the Spirit Demon Emperor, he also said the same thing to me. Come to think of it, between you and the Spirit Demon Emperor, who is stronger? If I fight with you, will it be challenging? Those words were like a sharp sword that pierced through his heart. Sobbing blood old man's face changed. Shit, I forgot that this brat had once defeated the Spirit Demon Emperor, although I do not know what methods he used, but I can confirm that I cannot treat him as a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. So just then, a large number of people flew over from the horizon. They gathered at one point and descended, all of them standing behind sobbing blood old man. They brandished out their weapons and activated their profound spirit chi as though they were about to fight. Almost all of them were experts above the spirit soul realm, and there were more than 100 of them. Truly, there were many experts. So many spirit soul realm experts. Blossom Heart Valley definitely could not take them out. Pill King's face was extremely ugly. He stared at them and said, "Profound Sky Sect, don't tell me you want to destroy my Blossom Heart Valley. The Lord did not give such an order. Then what are you guys doing here? Just to capture Su Yun and eradicate the Su family. How did the Su family offend your Profound Sky Sect? You want to completely eradicate them before you are satisfied? So many people have already died. Can't you just let them go?" Pill King roared. "Let them go. I'm sorry, the Lord did not give such an order. He is very angry. And, at the same time, he hopes that no one from the Su family will be spared. Oh, maybe one person will be spared, and that is Su Qing." Sobbing blood, old man's voice gradually became cold, his face also becoming ice cold. "All right, since it has come to this, let's not waste any more time. People from Blossom Heart Valley, if you know what's good for you, then stay by the side and do not move. Today, we are only looking for trouble with the Su family. If you dare to interfere, then we can only take care of your Blossom Heart Valley as well." Chang Yuxia, since you've said that, then we have no choice but to fight. Let me see what capabilities you, a fourth-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Are you stronger than the Spirit Demon Emperor? I could defeat the Spirit Demon Emperor and make him flee. I wonder if I can kill you. Su Yun's face suddenly became sinister. A dense evil chi leaked out, transforming into a gigantic evil spirit behind him, staring at sobbing blood old man coldly, like a tiger eyeing its prey. The people of Profound Sky Sect were all stunned by the strange scene. Even sobbing blood old man was surprised. "Su Yun, you truly are an evil realm being. Compared to you guys, I am not considered evil, but don't think that I am afraid." Sobbing blood old man clenched his teeth and said coldly, "I want to see what capabilities you, a third-stage cultivator, have." He was already riding a tiger and could not back down. With so many people watching, he could not retreat, and with no choice, he could only bite the bullet. Su Yun's eyes tensed up, holding onto the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword tightly. He moved his feet, all the spirit essences in his body activated, preparing for the battle. The fight with the Spirit Demon Emperor was completely a result of luck. If he were to fight with the Spirit Demon Emperor again, he would definitely lose. Although sobbing blood old man could not compare to the Spirit Demon Emperor, but his strength was definitely not something that he could fight against. Previously, he was unable to intimidate him, but this time, he could only fight. "I'll risk it all. Who cares so much?" Su Yun made a decision in his mind. Profound Sky Sect is becoming more and more powerful to actually dare to come to my Blossom Heart Valley and behave atrociously. Just as the crossbow was about to be drawn, a melodious female voice floated out from the valley. Hearing that, Guamo Ju and the rest of the Blossom Heart Valley people were immediately overjoyed. Valley Mistress. Chapter 341. Valley Master? Could it be? Su Yun was startled. He turned his head to look, only to see a middle-aged lady dressed in yellow robes flying out from the valley. The lady had a good appearance. Her figure was well proportioned, her hair was white, and there were a few wrinkles on her forehead. Her facial features were neat, and her expression revealed the vicissitudes of life. She did not have any weapons in her hands, and did not even have any ornaments on her body. She looked like a person without the strength to truss a chicken. But who would have thought that she was the famous Blossom Heart Valley Lord? Hua Lei Xin. We greet Valley Master. The people of Blossom Heart Valley all knelt down and greeted the lady. Their actions were respectful, their bodies sincere. Everything came from their hearts, without any pretense. In Su Yun's memory, the Valley Master of Blossom Heart Valley rarely showed her face. She spent most of her time in closed-door cultivation and concocting pills, and all the matters of Blossom Heart Valley were handled by the clan elders. In terms of competence, she was definitely not a competent Valley Master, but in terms of medical skills, she was unparalleled. Junior Su Yun greets Valley Master. Su Yun immediately cupped his fists and bowed. Regardless of whether she was competent or not, it was not important, because she was truly a benevolent person. She carried on the mission of Blossom Heart Valley, to save lives and help the injured, to pass down medical skills in this chaotic world. She provided a warm place for the commoners who were living in the abyss of suffering. Towards such a person, what reason was there not to respect? Maybe it was not only Su Yun who thought so. The countless of people who had received kindness from Blossom Heart Valley thought so too. They saved people and never asked for anything in return. You are Su Yun? Valley Master Hua Lei Xin turned and looked at Su Yun, her face revealing a warm smile. Although your body is filled with evil qi, but your heart is not evil. Compared to these people, you are much more upright. Valley Master is overpraising me. Leave the rest to me. Su Yun, the Su family are at their wits' end. Many of them are innocent. Quickly bring them away. Valley Master Hua Lei Xin spoke again. Yes, Valley Master. Su Yun nodded. Seeing that, sobbing blood old man Chang Yuxie's face became extremely ugly. He clenched his fists tightly and stared at Hua Lei Xin. Even the Valley Master is out? Seems like your Blossom Heart Valley is determined to go against our Profound Sky sect. Good. Very good. Since it is so, I will report to the Lord and let him make the decision. I want to see whether the Profound Sky sect is stronger or your Blossom Heart Valley is stronger. Chen Xin, your disciple is here. A young man walked out from the crowd. Your speed is the fastest. Go back to the sect and meet the Lord. Tell him about Blossom Heart Valley's decision and ask him to make a decision. If he is determined to eradicate Blossom Heart Valley, then ask him to immediately send people and take action today. Understood. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly turned around and dashed towards the back, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Go. It's best if you find your venerable. Hua Lei Xin was not afraid at all, and said indifferently, I am not afraid to hide it from you. Chang Yuxie, although I, Hua Lei Xin, am only a 5th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator, but with my methods, forget about the Spirit Star Realm, even a Spirit Master cultivator could be easily killed. Blossom Heart Valley's medical techniques are not unparalleled, but their poison techniques are the same. Your venerable should know how powerful I am. If you have the ability, invite him over. I can also test out my newly developed poison techniques. You. Chang Yuxie's face was extremely ugly. He stared at Hua Lei Xin and said angrily, Hua Lei Xin, anyone can talk big, don't bite your tongue. Since you are so arrogant, then I will have to experience your Blossom Heart Valley's poison techniques. With that, he moved and punched towards Hua Lei Xin. At the same time, he roared, I will deal with Blossom Heart Valley's valley leader. You guys go and capture Su Yun. The Su family will not move for now. Su Yun is more important. Go. Yes, clan elder. The experts of the Profound Sky sect immediately moved and rushed towards Su Yun. They split into 2 groups. One group blocked the experts that rushed out from Blossom Heart Valley, and the other group surrounded them. Su Yun, don't be careless. I sensed a few strange spirit qi. Although the Profound Sky sect people are not as strong as you, but they might have powerful treasures that you cannot imagine. Don't be forceful. Pill King shouted loudly. All of them were merely 10th stage spirit soul realm cultivators and had not even reached the spirit star realm, and yet they dared to capture him. They naturally had killing techniques. If they did not have any backup plans, the 100 of them would just be a dish in his eyes. I got it, Su Yin replied loudly. 7th clan elder. Quickly bring the Su family and leave. These people are coming for me. I cannot stay here. With that, he turned and soared into the sky, rushing out of Blossom Heart Valley. Not good. Su Yun is escaping. Quickly chase. Capture Su Yun. Kill all of the Su family. The roars continued. A large number of different colored mystical techniques struck down like rain, either passing through Su Yun's sides or directly striking his body, but did not cause any harm to him. Su Yun did not seem to be fighting, and immediately ran. Without even turning his head, he did not have the intention to fight with them. Surround him. Use the heaven-locking chains to take him down. Just then, a low roar came out. Amongst the pursuers, a few profound sky sect people lowered their heads and chanted. Then their bodies disappeared, and when they reappeared, they were already in front of Su Yun. In their hands was a pitch-black and thick iron chain. Their gazes were fixated on Su Yun, and their mouths were chanting quickly. That must be some kind of incredible magic treasure, Su Yun thought, and immediately unsheathed the immortal mystical scarlet bloodsword, and was prepared to take action. But just at this time, a figure suddenly appeared from the side and directly rushed towards them. Bang, bang! The figure was extremely powerful. Adding the sneak attack, he directly smashed into the group of people and forcefully opened up a path. Xingyang. When Su Yun saw who it was, he was immediately startled. Big Brother Yin, quickly go! Xingyang shouted loudly. Xingyang, where's Xinu? Why aren't you staying in Blossom Heart Valley? Why are you here? Xinu is with the various clan elders of Blossom Heart Valley. She is fine, but Big Brother, you are currently in danger. How can I not care? Big Brother, don't worry, Xingyang will help you. Xingyang said with a resolute expression. Xingyang, in such a dangerous situation, you still dare to stand up for me. It truly moves me. Su Yun wiped the tears from the corner of his eyes and said with a choked voice, Big Brother, what are you saying? This is what I should do. We are brothers after all. Let's not talk about anything else. If there's anything, we can talk after we shake them off. Xingyang, follow me. I know a place where we can shake off these lackeys of the profound sky sect. Su Yun calmed himself down, changed his direction, and headed towards the large forest behind Blossom Heart Valley. Don't let Su Yun go. Chase. The profound sky sect people roared and persevered as they followed behind Su Yun. A group of people rushed into the forest. There were many trees in the forest, the luxuriant foliage blocking out most of the light. Adding that the sun was setting, the forest became even more dusky. Su Yun and Xingyang rushed into the forest and flew close to the treetops. The profound sky sect people behind did not stop at all and continued to chase without stopping. Xingyang, who was following behind Su Yun, suddenly raised his head and stared at Su Yun with a strange gaze. His lips unconsciously curled into a strange smile, but Su Yun could not see it at all. He slowly touched his waist. Inside his belt, there was actually a heaven-locking chain. Just at that moment. So, two black lights suddenly shot out from below and directly struck Su Yun. Su Yun screamed and directly fell from the sky. What? Xingyang's expression changed. The profound sky sect people behind were also startled. They all landed on the treetops and looked at Su Yun, who was on the ground with a face full of pain. Waves of spirit star realm chi that caused their hearts to go numb leaked out, pervading the forest. From within the pitch-black forest, two pitch-black figures slowly walked out. Spirit star realm chi. This is the chi emitted by a spirit star realm cultivator. Two spirit star realm cultivators are here. Who exactly are they? Who are you? State your names. The profound sky sex people all had gloomy expressions. They stared at the two people, and one of them shouted. They did not know if they were friends or foes. Su Yun, we have been lying in ambush here for 7 days. and calculated that you would take this path. And now, we have truly caught you. This time, Blossom Heart Valley can't protect you, right? Let me kill you. To take revenge. One of the Spirit Star Realm cultivator with his face covered wielded a large blade and walked towards Su Yun, who was on the ground in pain, and muttered sinisterly. It's Su Yun's enemy. Then, are they our friends? No matter what, we cannot let them kill Su Yun. Our goal is to capture Su Yun and lure Qing out. Once Su Yun dies, we will never be able to find Qing again. The Profound Sky Sect people were anxious. But just then, the Spirit Star Realm cultivator with the staff noticed them. Oh, other than Su Yun, there's another group of trash? I never thought that Su Yun would actually give us such a big gift. Not bad, not bad. Just treat it as an appetizer. I will take care of all of them. They're just a group of Spirit Soul Realm cultivators. Is there a need for a 5th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator like you to take action? The masked man with the staff laughed. 5th stage Spirit Star Realm. All of the Profound Sky Sect people were completely frightened, but to actually be able to beat Su Yun to the ground in one move, how could it be fake? Su Yun was a 3rd stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Sneak attacking him required strength. There are actually 5th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivators here, and there are 2 of them. The situation has changed. Everyone, do not stay here. Retreat for now. Go. One of the Profound Sky Sect people bellowed. Then, without turning back, he turned and retreated. How could the rest dare to hesitate? They immediately turned and ran. Want to leave? Not so easy. The Spirit Star Realm cultivator wielding the blade moved. He soared to the sky and slashed down with his blade. The sharp blade sliced the tree. Seeing that, the Profound Sky Sect people ran even faster. Seeing that, Xing Yang's face became extremely ugly. He opened his eyes wide and looked at Su Yun, who was on the ground unwillingly, then turned and ran. He never thought that there would be such a thing, that 2 powerful cultivators would suddenly appear. Spirit Star Realm cultivators were not something that the Profound Sky Sect people could control. But just as he was about to turn, a hand suddenly grabbed onto Xing Yang's shoulder. Don't leave so quickly. It's not over yet. It was the person holding the magic staff, and he was currently smiling at Su Xingyang in a sinister manner. Who exactly are you people? Xingyang asked in fear. He wanted to move, but the strange spirit chi released from the palm suppressed his body, causing him to be unable to move. Then, before the masked man with the staff could speak, a familiar voice came out from behind. They are my men. Hearing that, Xing Yang's entire body trembled. He immediately turned his head, only to see that Su Yun, who was on the ground, had already stood up. He did not have any injuries on his body. His face was not twisted in pain. Everything was normal, as though nothing had happened. At that moment, Xing Yang understood. So it turned out that he had been faking it. Chapter 342. Brother Yun, so you're fine? That's great, that's great. Xing Yang was startled for a moment, then exclaimed in joy. Brother Yun, you said these people are your men? Why would you arrange for people here? Are you planning to scare the Profound Sky Sect people away? So it was like that. Brother Yun is truly powerful. But before that, I'll have to trouble Brother Yun to let your friends release me. Release? Not yet. Su Yun's mouth revealed a strange smile. He walked over and carefully looked at Xing Yang in front of him, then laughed. They were not invited by me to scare your Profound Sky Sect people away. They were invited by me to deal with you. Deal with me? Our Profound Sky Sect? Xing Yang was startled for a moment, then revealed a look of confusion. Brother, what are you talking about? What Profound Sky Sect? Do you think that I have joined the Profound Sky Sect? That's weird. Brother, don't tell me you don't believe me. Don't tell me you don't know my character. Of course I know Xing Yang's character. Su Yun crossed his arms and laughed. But Sly's character, I don't know. With that said, Xing Yang's face changed. His eyes widened as he stared at Su Yun. What are you talking about? Stop pretending. Is that so? How did you discover me? My eyes are sharp. Impossible. Not to mention my disguise technique is flawless. Even many people in the Profound Sky sect do not know that I am participating in this operation. With just your eyes, you will never be able to see through my disguise. Xingyang, who was Sly, roared. Hey, I just know. How did you know? Sly's eyes widened. Suyin extended his hand out and waved it in front of his eyes. Sly muttered, What? I calculated it with my fingers. Sly, all right, I won't talk anymore. Suyin opened his hand, his smile slowly vanishing. I heard that you have a treasure that allows people to disguise themselves perfectly. Hand it over. W, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Sly lowered his head and clenched his teeth. Do you want me to say it out loud? Sly, I know that you participated in this operation. I know that you disguised yourself as Xingyang and planned to ambush me while I was escaping. Naturally, I also know that your disguise technique relies on a treasure. Why are you acting dumb in front of me? If you don't hand it over, then I can only use the methods you use to treat those people. How did you treat those people? It is said that you're the most diligent person out of the 81 sect elites in the Profound Sky sect. Regardless of whether it is a big or small mission, you're always eager to participate in it, because that way you will be able to leave the sect legitimately and kill people legitimately. Suyin walked over and said cunningly, You crave the pleasure of killing. Whether it's a man, a woman, an old man, or a child, you want to kill them to satisfy yourself. You can't wait to hear people's miserable wails day and night. You can't wait to see everyone die in pain in front of you. You don't want anything, but you crave this simple killing, right? Sly was startled. After a moment, his Su Xingyang's face changed, turning into a mask with a pair of yellow eyes. In that moment, the expression in his eyes changed. Ha ha ha, I never thought that there would actually be someone who understands me so well. Ha ha ha. You are too powerful, Suyin. You are truly too powerful. All these things that even my fellow sect brothers and sisters do not know. I never thought that you would actually know so clearly. Seems like I have to look at you in a different light. Sly laughed out loud. His voice and expression no longer had the fear and panic from before, as though his entire soul had changed and was completely different from before. He is a natural madman. I like it. Ha ha. Just then, Kuang Yuxie's sinister laughter came out. Sly's laughter stopped. He turned to look, only to see Kuang Yuxie holding onto his blood-covered blade, walking over step by step. Where are the Profound Sky sect people? Suyin turned and asked Kuang Yuxie, reporting to Master. Some of them were killed by me. Some ran away. Did they return to Kuang Yuxie's side? Yes, that's good. Suyin nodded his head, then turned his gaze and stared at Sly seriously, his expression extremely stern. Sly, I will give you one last chance. Hand over that treasure to me. If not, you will regret it. Even if I give it to you, I will still be killed by you. Don't tell me you will let me go. Sly laughed sinisterly. I will not let you go. But if you give it to me, I will give you a quick death. Suyin said seriously. Sly suddenly got closer, his yellow eyes filled with ridicule. Suyin, since I'm going to die anyway, I will not give it to you. Let's see what you can do to me. Ha 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 ha. The arrogant laughter came out again. Suyin was expressionless. Master. Kuang Yuxie's arms were trembling. His eyes started to leak evil qi as he stared at Sly. Clang. His hand loosened, and the blade that was covered in blood dropped to the ground. Ha ha ha, are you angry? You can't even hold your blade properly? Good to be angry. Ha ha ha. Seeing you guys angry makes me happy. Ha ha, Sly laughed, even more brazenly. No, he's not angry. Suyin interrupted his laughter, his mouth revealing a sinister smile. He is thirsting for me. Sly was startled. Thirsting? Suyin nodded at Kuang Yuxie. Let's begin. Thank you, Master. Kuang Yuxie's voice was trembling. Following Suyun's nod, he pounced toward Sly like a hungry tiger. W, what are you doing? Sly was completely dumbstruck. He anxiously retreated, but how could he be Kuang Yuxie's opponent? In a moment, Kuang Yuxie grabbed his neck. Just then, the two of them took off their disguises, revealing their pitch-black skin and sinister faces. A large amount of evil qi rose into the air like black smoke. Evil realm beings? You two are actually evil realm beings. Sly's eyes widened, his expression extremely shocked. Yes, They're evil realm beings, and are also my subordinates. Sly, don't tell me you don't know. Eroding the brain and stealing memories is something that evil realm beings are born with. This subordinate of mine loves to eat people with high cultivation and aptitude like you. Since you are not willing to hand over the treasure, I can only let him eat your brain and obtain a portion of your memories. Then let him hand over the treasure to me. Suyin walked to a large boulder at the side and sat down and said quietly, "What?" Sly was shocked. He regained his senses and roared, "No. I'm telling you, I'm willing to give you the treasure. Please give me a quick death. Quickly give me a quick death." Whoosh! Sly's arms were cut off, blood spurting everywhere, like two fountains splashing onto his body. "It's too late," Suyin said indifferently. His voice was cold. His expression did not change. Facing Sly's pleas, he was not moved at all. "Absorbing your memories will break your spirit. Pain is the most powerful weapon to defeat a living being's spirit. Please slowly endure it, food," Kuang Yuxie said in a low voice. He then struck out with his palm, piercing through Sly's abdomen, pulling out a kidney and throwing it into his mouth. Ah! A miserable shriek came out. These evil realm beings were like natural anatomists. They knew how to remove the organs from a person's body without letting them die, and knew where the most spirit essences were, and eating them would increase their own strength. Ordinary evil realm beings could not gain much from devouring corpses, but Kuang Yuxie and Huang Dongzhang were high-level evil realm beings and knew different evil techniques. The two of them were able to step into the first stage of the spirit star realm and relied on devouring corpses. But there were naturally many disadvantages. After devouring, they would not immediately gain a boost in cultivation and required a large amount of time to digest. And devouring a high-level being's corpse, there was a high chance that the spirit body would corrode the brain, and there was a small chance that the spirit body would take over the body. In other words, the two of them devouring corpses were actually using their lives to exchange for cultivation. Sly howled in pain, his eyes filled with fear. The dark yellow mask fell off, revealing a completely distorted and shriveled face. But very quickly, the wailing gradually calmed down, and Sly's body slumped to the ground. His consciousness started to weaken, and his life force started to dissipate. Fresh blood started to spread. The terrifying sound of bones breaking came out, and the corpse started to become more and more broken. Huang Dongzhang did not seem to have any intentions of taking a bite, and just watched from the side, after the time it took for an incense stick to burn. "Oh!" Kuang Yuxie, who had absorbed Sly's memories, was startled. As though he had found something from Sly's memories, he took out a small red bone piece from Sly's corpse and handed it over to Suyin. "Is this it?" Suyin took it and looked at it carefully. "I thought he kept his treasures in his storage ring," Huang Dongzhang, who was watching from the side, said. "I thought so too." Suyin held the bone piece in his hand and asked, "How do I use this?" "Just embed it on your frontal bone." Kuang Yuxie pointed to Suyun's forehead and said, "From Sly's memories, I know that this thing is called the shape-shifting bone piece, and inside it is sealed a portion of the 1,000 transformations immortal monarch's power. It is said that it is the origin bone piece of the 1,000 transformations immortal monarch, and does not belong to the category of treasures, so it does not have a grade. Every time you use it, you only need to imagine the transformation in your mind, and then instigate your profound spirit force to activate it." "I see." Suyin nodded his head. Without hesitation, he extended his hand and released a bit of pure divine spirit chi. He sliced open his forehead and removed some of his bones. Then he placed the shape-shifting bone piece inside. Huang Dongzhang immediately used his profound skill to heal, but was stopped by Suyin. "No need. This kind of pathetic appearance was just right. Everything is going according to plan." Suyin heaved a sigh of relief and said, "You guys cooperate with me first, and then go to the periphery of Blossom Heart Valley to await orders. If anything happens to Blossom Heart Valley, you guys must do your best to help." "Yes, my lord." The two of them cupped their fists. "All right, I should go." Suyin laughed, then turned and ran towards Blossom Heart Valley. At the same time, he activated the shape-shifting bone piece. In that moment, a strange energy seeped out from the bone piece and wrapped around him like a cocoon. After a few breaths of time, the cocoon broke, and a Sly was born. Huge trees flew past him, and from time to time, there would be explosions. The turbid, profound spirit Chi was like a puddle of yellow mud, extremely messy. Su Yin, who had transformed into Sly, ran frantically. Nearing Blossom Heart Valley, he screamed, "Save me! Quickly save me!" Outside of Blossom Heart Valley, the profound sky sect people who were still fighting with the experts of Blossom Heart Valley all turned to look. "It's Master Sly. He's not dead yet. Oh my God, what's that behind him?" Everyone looked at the black cloud behind Sly and exclaimed. Chapter 343. An evil realm being dressed in a pitch-black robe, his entire body brimming with evil chi, was waving his blade and chasing after Sly. The cold and strange evil chi dyed the sky black, causing the originally dusky sky to become even darker. "That's an evil realm being. It's an evil realm being!" Someone exclaimed out. An evil realm being actually appeared here? What's going on? Could it be Su Yun's accomplice? That's possible. If not, why would there be an evil realm being appearing for no reason? The experts of the Profound Sky sect discussed softly. A few 10th-stage spirit soul realm cultivators had already rushed up to stop Kwang Yuxie. The 5th-stage spirit star realm cultivators were just to scare them. Kwang Yuxie's true strength was only at the initial stage of the 1st stage. Although he was not afraid of the 10th-stage spirit soul realm cultivators, it was impossible for him to kill them in an instant. Furthermore, the deciding factor in battle was not only cultivation, but also treasures. In the past, Kwang Yuxie, who was a lone cultivator, did not have an advantage over the experts of the Profound Sky sect in terms of treasures. Bang! An intense tremor came out in the air, causing ripples to form in the air, and 2 figures separated. Everyone looked over. They were Sobbing Blood Old Man Chang Yuxie and Blossom Heart Valley Lord Hua, Lei Xian. Sobbing Blood Old Man retreated a few steps, retreating into the crowd, his eyes staring at the middle-aged lady who had landed gently, his eyes filled with unwillingness. Blossom Heart Valley Lord truly lives up to her name. He shouted in a low voice and quietly raised his withered hands, only to see that his palms were a dark green color. Seeing that, Sobbing Blood Old Man's eyes widened. He was obviously poisoned. "Don't worry about the poison. It will only eat away a few of your spirit essences and weaken your cultivation. It is not enough to kill you. Of course, if you continue to stay here and not leave, this Valley Lord can only cripple your cultivation and find a few coachmen to tie you up and send you back to the Profound Sky sect." Wale Xian laughed and said. Her smile seemed to be hiding a poisonous needle. "You." Sobbing Blood Old Man was so angry that his entire body was trembling. Dong, dong, dong. Just then, a chain of explosions came out from the side. A large amount of evil chi blew over, causing a few Profound Sky sect people to fall to the ground, causing their formation to be in chaos. "What happened?" Sobbing Blood Old Man roared. "Master, an evil being has appeared on the right flank. His strength is at least above the Spirit Star realm. We can't hold on anymore." Sly shouted. "Why are there evil beings of the Spirit Star realm?" Sobbing Blood Old Man was shocked. He grabbed on a Sly's collar and asked, "Didn't I tell you to chase after Su Yun? Why did all of you come back? Where's Su Yun?" "Su Yun? Su Yun? Su Yun was killed by those evil beings." The Jiao gritted its teeth and said unwillingly. "What?" Sobbing Blood Old Man was shocked. "There were a total of 2 evil realm beings. I do not know where they came from, but the other one was at the 5th stage of the Spirit Star realm. They were lying in ambush in the forest outside Blossom Heart Valley, and while Su Yun was escaping, they suddenly launched a sneak attack. Su Yun was struck and was killed by the evil realm being. His corpse had already been devoured by the evil realm being, and I took the chance to escape while they were killing Su Yun," Sly said with a trembling voice. "That's right. Those 2 evil beings even killed Senior Brother Li and Junior Brother Zhang. They killed so many of our men." A few of the Profound Sky sect experts who had escaped from death said, with lingering fear, "Clan Elder, what do we do now? Do we deal with the evil realm beings? Or deal with the Blossom Heart Valley people?" Someone asked. "Do you even need to ask, stupid? Sobbing blood, old man stared fiercely at Hua Lei Xian and suddenly released a palm towards Kuang Yuxie. Seeing that, Kuang Yuxie immediately retreated. The dense and powerful spirit qi caused him to perspire in cold sweat. Sobbing blood old man was ultimately a peak 4th stage spirit star realm cultivator and was much stronger than him. Seeing that Kuang Yuxie was forced to retreat, Sobbing blood old man immediately waved his hand and bellowed, "Let's go." The profound skies sect people did not dare to continue fighting, and all of them flew back in unison. The profound skies sect people were very straightforward, and in the blink of an eye, they had all left. Sobbing blood old man's departure caused the chaotic valley entrance to regain its peace. But the Blossom Heart Valley people did not relax. All of them turned to look at the evil realm being at the same time. Although the profound sky sect people had left, the Chung Yao Jin who had suddenly appeared was still there, and everyone could not let their guard down. Why would an evil realm being appear out of nowhere? Pill King, who was being supported by a few disciples, asked. Gue Moju looked to his left and right, then took a few steps forward and shouted at Kuang Yuxie, "Who are you?" Then Kuang Yuxie turned his head to look at them, but did not say a word. Evil realm beings are still evil realm beings. We cannot talk nonsense with them. Valley Master, we need to eliminate them. If not, if we let them go, they will definitely harm even more living beings. Chen Mu Yun led the clan elders and walked over and spoke to Hua Lei Xian respectfully. Then, before Hua Lei Xian could speak, Kuang Yuxie moved. He turned around and transformed into a wisp of black smoke. He soared into the sky and disappeared in the blink of an eye. He didn't say a single word. What was going on? The people of Blossom Heart Valley were perplexed. Pill King, Hua Lei Xian, and the rest lowered their heads in silence. We cannot let them escape. We need to chase after them. Gue Mo Ju said. That's right. Evil realm beings are not like the demons. They are much more savage. If they are allowed to run amok in the sky martial continent, they will only bring about countless disasters. We need to inform the other sects and be careful of the evil realm beings. Chen Mu Yun said firmly. No need. Just then, Hua Lei Xian suddenly spoke. Chen Mu Yun and Gue Mo Ju were startled and looked at her in shock. Hua Lei Xian smiled. Let the evil realm beings go. Everyone do not care about them. Just treat it as if it never appeared. All right, quickly go and check on the Su family and the injured disciples, and quickly arrange for them to leave. I am afraid that the profound sky sect will not let this matter rest. From today onwards, Blossom Heart Valley will enter the first level of alert. Understand? Understood. An orderly voice sounded out. Chen Mu Yun was still confused, but it was an order from the Valley Master. How could he disobey? He did not ask anymore. In the vast sky, a group of spirit soul realm experts, under Chang Yuxie's lead, quickly flew towards the direction of the profound sky sect. The surroundings were filled with white clouds. Everyone was using their profound spirit qi to fly in the sky. The wind was blowing fiercely. Those who were injured and those who had used up too much spirit qi were swaying as they flew. It was as if they could fall at any time, but no one cared about their situation. Sly. Just then, Chang Yuxie, who had been flying at the front, roared out. Su Yun, who had transformed into Sly, frowned, but without hesitation, he immediately flew over and shouted, Clan Elder, what instructions do you have? What happened to the two evil realm beings? Why did you not succeed in capturing Su Yun? Chang Yuxie's old face was extremely sinister, as though he was extremely unresigned. Reporting to Clan Elder, this subordinate is not clear, but from what one of the evil realm beings said, they seem to have been lying in ambush for Su Yun. They should be Su Yun's enemies. Su Yun was originally from the Sky Martial Continent, but knows evil arts. He should have interacted with the evil realm beings, so it is not surprising that he has enemies with the evil realm beings. Not surprising? Humph! Su Yun is dead, and Qing, Er's line is broken again. The Sky Martial Continent is so big, I do not even know where to find her. How am I going to explain to the Lord? Sobbing blood, old man roared in distress. He did not ask Su Yun anymore, but increased his speed and rushed towards the sect. They were extremely fast and did not stop to rest. Suyin did not know how the injured and exhausted people were able to hold on. But what was surprising was that no one was left behind. After passing 3 regions, they arrived at the southern seaside. Profound Sky Sect. Regardless of whether it was in his previous life or his current life, it was Su Yun's first time arriving at their encampment. It was a place behind a gigantic mountain range that faced the sea. Because the mountain range was extremely tall, it made it look like a paradise, and no one knew how the ancestors of the Profound Sky Sect found such a treasured land to be the location of their sect. When they flew past the vast mountain range and were preparing to get close to the Profound Sky Sect, suddenly, the people flying in front all stopped. Seeing that, Su Yun immediately stopped his body. Chang Yu Xie, who was leading the group, shouted, "I am the 5th clan Elder Chang Yu Xie, disciple guarding the sect. Quickly open the enchantment and let us in." Disciple greets, "Clan Elder Chang. We will open the enchantment now." A loud and clear voice came out from the other side of the mountain. Following that, the sky in front of them started to undulate with layers of azure blue ripples. A mystical energy started to spread out from the ripples. Su Yun wrinkled his nose and carefully sniffed the spirit chi. Enchantment? Seems like there's more than one layer. The enchantment opened, and the group moved forward again. Chang Yuxiel led the Profound Sky Sect people straight into the mountain. Su Yun flew slowly, carefully sensing the energy undulations in the air, and along the way, he became more and more surprised. There are actually 570 enchantments. Is this the Profound Sky Sect's Mountain Protection enchantment? Isn't the number 2 terrifying? Is there a need to set it up so tightly? Master Sly, what are you doing? Please quickly pass through here. The disciple guarding the sect is about to close the enchantment. Someone shouted from the other end. Su Yun's body trembled. He regained his senses and anxiously increased his speed to catch up to the group. After passing through the layers of enchantment mountains, it was a vast and majestic scene. Behind the mountain was a vast and spacious land, and on the other side was the sea. It was extremely vast. The ground was paved with jade-colored bricks, with all sorts of buildings scattered around. This was the place where the initial Profound Sky Sect disciples resided and trained, and in the sky above the buildings, there were countless of dazzling jade platforms floating. The jade platforms were of different sizes, and the higher they went, the wider and bigger they became. Every jade platform had houses and formations built on it, and many of the jade platforms were releasing dazzling light auras, which were extremely dazzling. And at the very top of the jade platforms floated an extremely vast jade stone island. It was like a stone that covered the sky. Floating above Su Yun's head, people could only see the jade stone below the island, but could not see the top of the island, and even the sky could not be seen. What a mystical jade platform. How exactly are they floating? Furthermore, the gigantic jade stone island at the very top. Whose is it? Is this the Profound Sky Sect? Looking at the scale, there are probably over 1 million of them. It's a spectacular sight. Compared to them, the Immortal Sword Sect pales in comparison. Su Yun, who was flying in the sky, looked around, occasionally looking at the flat ground below him. Occasionally looking at the floating jade platforms, he exclaimed in surprise, "I will report to the Lord about this operation. All of you return to your own cultivation grounds." Chang Yuxie turned his head and shouted to the disciples behind him. He then leaped up and flew towards the huge jade stone island at the top. So that's where the Lord of the Profound Sky Sect is at. Su Yun stared at the sky and thought. Chapter 344. Inside the Profound Sky Sect's elite jade platforms, on top of one of the floating jade platforms. Bone forging blood pill? Good stuff. This is a treasure that cannot be bought with spirit coins. I never thought that there would be one here. Su Yun, who was standing in front of a huge cabinet, picked up a small blue and white porcelain bottle, poured out a pill, sniffed it a few times, swallowed it into his mouth and chewed, then continued to flip through the other bottles. Reading Chi Pill. After consuming it, it can strengthen the spirit essences, allowing it to produce profound spirit chi more smoothly, although it is not as precious as the bone forging blood pill, but it is still not bad. Huh. Immortal Life Pill. Another pill that can increase profound spirit chi. The most important thing now is to temper my body, not to cultivate profound spirit chi. It is better not to consume too much. The power that I stole from the spirit demon emperor has not been completely digested. I cannot be too hasty. Splenda Heart Pill? Not bad, not bad. Glazed Immortal Pill? TSK, TSK, TSK. I'm so lucky. Suyin continued to rummage through the chests and cabinets, searching for Slice belongings. Most of the pills in the training grounds were all taken by him. If he did not consume them, then he would throw them into his storage ring as backup. His 8 storage rings were stuffed to the brim. It had to be said that Sly had plundered a lot of high-quality pills, causing Su Yun to be dazzled and sighed that it was not a wasted trip. But what made Su Yun disappointed was that although there were many pills in the training grounds, there were very few treasures that he could use. A portion of the treasures were linked to Sly, and after Sly died, the treasures were automatically destroyed. What was worth rejoicing was that although there were not many treasures left, there were still many that were useful. Su Yun specially spent another day to familiarize himself with the treasures, since there were many things that he had never seen before. The silent and traceless talisman, upon activation, it would allow the user to enter a state of complete invisibility, but it was ineffective against existences stronger than the user. And in the process of invisibility, it would consume a lot of profound spirit chi, and those with weak profound spirit chi would not be able to sustain it for long. Escape from Death Bead. There are 5 seals inside. Each use will consume 1 seal. Before use, you need to set a specific coordinate. After use, you will automatically be teleported to the designated location. Essential for escaping. Sly was truly a crafty rabbit. A crafty rabbit had 3 burrows. All of these things were used to escape, but it was no wonder he was an outstanding spy in the Profound Sky sect, and the missions he carried out were all extremely dangerous. Once he was exposed, he would definitely die, so preserving his life was naturally the most important. Su Yun checked the location of the Pearl of Life and Death. It was the Cultivation Jade platform. With these things, I could be more daring in the Profound Sky sect. Su Yun thought, and kept all the treasures into his bag. Lord Sly. Right at this moment, a clear voice resounded from outside the Jade platform. Su Yun was startled. He stood up and walked out of the house, and saw a man dressed in armor floating outside the Jade platform. The Jade platform had an enchantment, and only Slice Order Badge could open it. Without Su Yun's permission, no one could enter. But who was this fellow? Su Yun was puzzled and opened the enchantment barrier. He did not say a word and watched as the man flew in. Master Sly, I heard that you failed in your mission and were heavily injured. Dong Feng heard of it and immediately rushed over to visit Master. Seeing that Master is safe and sound, Dong Feng is relieved. The man bowed respectfully and then took out an exquisite box from his storage ring and handed it over to Su Yun with both hands. Master, this is a high-quality Clear Mind 3-cent pill. It can help Master recover from your injuries. Please accept it. Clear Mind 3-cent pill? Hearing that, Su Yun was ecstatic, but he did not anxiously keep the pill. Instead, he carefully sized up the man in front of him who looked to be in his 20s and glanced at the Sect Elite badge on his waist, then laughed. Master Dong Feng is too courteous. It is just a small injury. It is not a big deal. Master should just take it back. He was also an elite of a sect, and most likely had a deep relationship with Sly. Why is Master being so polite with Dong Feng? The man called Dong Feng raised his head and looked at Sly in front of him in shock, thinking in his heart. In the past, when he gave me things, he would always accept them without thinking. Why is he not accepting them today? Could it be that he is not interested in the pill? I have spent a large amount of sect contribution points to exchange for it from the Heaven's Might Treasury Palace. Ordinary people are unable to obtain such a good pill. Or could it be that he is still wary of me? Su Yun was also a quick-witted person. Seeing the shock that flashed past Dong Feng's face, he knew that his rejection was against Slice logic. His eyes flashed, and he chuckled, and extended his hand out to take the box. Since Master Dong Feng is so insistent, I will not be polite. You want to be a whore and still want to maintain your chastity. Dongfeng's heart was filled with disdain, but he still squeezed out a smile. Master, since you have the pill, quickly use it and recover from your injuries. No rush, no rush. Now that you are here, how can I treat my injuries alone? I have to treat you all first. Come, please come in. Su Yun pretended to be passionate, but he was wearing a mask, and Dongfeng could not see his expression. It's all right. Master Sly, Dongfeng is here today for two matters. One is to visit Master, and now that Master is safe and sound, Dongfeng's heart has been lifted, and the second is that I hope that Master can keep your promise and help Dongfeng obtain the Crystal Cauldron Stone. Dongfeng said with a serious face. Crystal Cauldron Stone? Su Yun frowned. That is something that can only be produced in the highest training grounds of the Profound Sky sect. We do not even have a Spirit Star Realm cultivation. How can we obtain it? Master Sly is too polite. I have a treasure that can help me, but the Crystal Cauldron Stone is protected by the Slaughter Flame Beast. It is not easy to take it. I still need Master's Shapeshift Bone. Is that so? Then what treasure do you have? Master wants to know? Then follow me. I will bring you to see the treasure. Dongfeng laughed, but a strange light flashed past his eyes. Is that so? Can't we do it another day? I'm still injured. Is Master going to go back on his words? Dongfeng's face changed. How can you go back on your words? You should know that Master Bali hates people who go back on their words the most. If you are not willing to go this time, then I can only ask Master Bali for help. Fuck me. You change your attitude faster than flipping a book. Su Yun was startled. He then understood that Dongfeng was not someone who was easy to deal with. He thought for a moment, then said, Master Dongfeng, don't be angry since you've said it like that. Let us go now. All right. Dongfeng nodded his head. He turned and sneered, then soared into the sky. Su Yun followed, but did not follow too closely. He grabbed onto the Umbra locket on his neck and quietly activated it. Master, Great Obscure greets you. A weak voice came out from the locket. Great Obscure, let me ask you, what is the relationship between Sly and Dongfeng? Su Yun secretly transmitted the words into the locket. Sly? Dongfeng? Master, how do you know these two sect elites? Great Obscure was startled. Don't ask too much, just tell me what you know. Su Yun said. He did not have the time to explain to him. Great Obscure did not beat around the bush, and spoke directly. Sly is not considered a powerful existence amongst the 81 sect elites of the Profound Sky sect, but Sly is extremely despicable and loves to torture and kill living beings. Thus his reputation is not considered good. But compared to Sly, there is one person with a similar reputation, and that is the elite Dongfeng. He is not like Sly, who loves to torture and kill, but is extremely lustful, and it is said that he is trained in 7 types of dual cultivation techniques, which are used on females of different ages, and he also uses dual cultivation with females to forcefully plunder their cultivation. In the past few years, countless female cultivators have been harmed by him, and the grudge between the two can be traced back to a mission 2 years ago. I have not investigated the details of the mission, but I know that the two of them had their eyes on a female cultivator, and Dongfeng was extremely fond of the female cultivator and planned to snatch her for dual cultivation. But he was a step too late, and the female cultivator was already tricked by Sly and was cruelly killed. Because of that, Dongfeng and Sly fought, and after the clan elder arrived, the two of them were punished, and the matter was left unsettled. Hearing you say it like that, the two of them are also scum. How can the Profound Sky sect allow the two of them to be the sex elites? Su Yun gritted his teeth and said, Master, you do not know the rules of the Profound Sky sect. Inside the Profound Sky sect, strength is everything. The sect does not care who you are, as long as you have 2 things. First, you have to be absolutely loyal to the sect. Second, you have to possess absolute strength. That way, you can obtain everything in the Profound Sky sect. In the Profound Sky sect, there are many people who are worse than the two of them. You just do not know about them. Then according to what you said, Sly and Dongfeng should be enemies? Su Yun asked. That is reasonable. There should be some conflict between the two of them. Recently, people have seen Dongfeng running towards Sly from time to time, as though he has the intention to curry favor with Sly. I do not know what Dongfeng is planning. Great Obscure said, I understand. All right, it has been hard on you. Su Yun nodded his head and removed the activation of the shadow locket. Hearing the information provided by Great Obscure, he became more cautious towards Dongfeng. Dongfeng led him past layers of jade platforms and arrived at a floating pavilion at the side. At that moment, there was a man and a woman standing in front of the pavilion. Su Yun quietly activated the heavenly scale divine eye to look at them. The two of them were 8th-stage spirit soul realm cultivators, with elite disciple badges hanging on their waists. The man was dressed in a gray leather armor. His face was sallow and skinny, his eyes sunken in, and he did not seem to have much energy. The woman's face was smeared with rouge. Her dressing was extremely enchanting. Her figure was slightly plump, but her breasts were extremely exposed. She was dressed in an extremely revealing dress. Her thighs and breasts were completely exposed, and she was not afraid that the man beside her would stare at her. When the two of them neared the pavilion, the man and woman immediately walked up and bowed to the two of them. Disciple Zhao Ru, Ouyang Ke, greets the two masters. The two of them landed on the ground. Dongfeng smiled and walked over to support Zhao Ru and said with a gentle face, No need to be so polite. I'm not that arrogant. Don't treat me like an outsider in the future. Zhao Ru threw a flirtatious look at Dongfeng and softly replied with an Ouyang Ke did not say anything, but frowned. Dongfeng turned and spoke to Su Yun. Master Sly, this treasure was actually provided by Zhao Ru and is currently stored in her training grounds. Let us quickly go in and take a look. Oh, can't you take it out? Su Yun glanced at the pavilion in front of him and realized that there were several enchantments secretly set up in the pavilion. These enchantments were all hidden and had not been activated. If he did not intentionally, he would not be able to detect their existence. Hearing that, Dongfeng smiled and walked over. Suddenly, a burst of profound spirit chi was activated, enveloping his hand, which then immediately pressed onto Su Yun's waist. The profound spirit chi locked onto his spine. As long as he used force, the profound spirit chi would instantly destroy Su Yun's bones. Of course not. Dongfeng chuckled, go in obediently. Chapter 345. Dongfeng, what are you doing? Su Yun frowned and asked, What am I doing? Sly, did you really think that I called you here just to take the crystal cauldron stone? You are too gullible. I just wanted to trick you out. Dongfeng's face revealed a sinister smile. Oh, just to trick me out? Then why did you give me so many things previously? Su Yun laughed. He was wearing a mask, and no one could see his expression. If I did not give you some things, or give you some benefits, how could you let your guard down? Furthermore, if I did not give you anything, how could I have an excuse to force you out? Dongfeng chuckled and pushed Su Yun. Don't waste time, Master Sly. We should settle the debt between us. Must it be at this time? Su Yun said gloomily. He had only been impersonating Sly for a day, and something had happened. It was truly unfortunate. Time waits for no man. Dongfeng stuck out his tongue and licked his dry lips. The three of them brought Su Yun into the pavilion. At that moment, Su Yun finally understood that Dongfeng's true goal was not the most dangerous training ground in the Profound Sky sect, but the pavilion. Sly's strength was comparable to Dongfeng's, but at the moment, Sly was caught by Dongfeng. With two elite disciples guarding by the side, the advantage was obvious. Master Sly, don't blame us. This is just between you and Master Dongfeng. We are only listening to Master Dongfeng's orders. That's why we are doing this. I am also in a difficult situation. Zhao Ru spoke to Su Yun with a delicate look. Zhao Ru, why are you talking so much to a dead man? Ouyang Ke said with an unhappy look. Hearing that, Su Yun was shocked. He turned and stared at Dongfeng. Don't tell me you guys want to kill me. If you do not cooperate obediently, I will really kill you. Anyways, no one will know that I killed you. Dongfeng snorted, a sinister look in his eyes. Su Yun did not say anything, but the spirit essences in his body were secretly activated. When he entered the pavilion, he saw a huge cauldron furnace in the middle of the hall. The cauldron furnace was powered by 3 layers of fire rays. The high temperature baked the cauldron furnace, causing the lower part of the cauldron furnace to turn red. Billowing green smoke came out of the top of the cauldron furnace. Su Yun was pushed into an enchantment on the right side of the hall, and upon entering the enchantment was activated, and a large number of Qi hands grabbed onto Su Yun's four limbs. If he was only a 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator, he would definitely not be able to escape from the Qi hands, and it was obvious that Dongfeng had specially prepared this for Su Yun. Sly, you're also an intelligent person. Do you know why I tricked you here today? Dongfeng crossed his arms across his chest and looked at Su Yun with a ridiculing expression. I don't know. He playing dumb. It doesn't matter. I'll just say it. Now, remove the connection between you and your shape-shifting bone piece in front of me and offer it to me. Do you understand? You want the shape-shifting bone piece. Is there anything else about you that I care about? Yes, I have many things on me. I have the heavenly crystal, the everlasting stone, the sprite's shadow, the heavenly scale divine. Su Yun smiled and listed out all the treasures he had. Dongfeng and the rest were perspiring when they heard that. Heavenly crystal? Everlasting stone? That seems to be a top-quality treasure. But I heard that all of these things are in limitless hands. How do you have them? Dongfeng regained his senses and asked, Aren't I limitless? Sly, stop acting stupid in front of me. It doesn't matter if you don't hand over the shape-shifting bone piece, since I don't expect you to hand it over now. We will settle our past debts. Dongfeng's face became distorted. You truly want to kill me? Kill? Of course it's not that simple. Dongfeng raised his hand and pointed at the cauldron and said, Do you know what that is? I don't know. Explain it to me. 7 months ago, I was on a mission and accidentally barged into a dead almighty being's cultivation cave. There were not many treasures in the cave, and many of them were destroyed because of the almighty being's death. But the most important thing was that the almighty being left behind a recipe to create an indestructible gold body. Indestructible gold body. Su Yun was startled. Yes, to create an indestructible gold body pill. This cauldron already has all of the ingredients recorded on the recipe, and almost all of them are priceless rare ingredients. For these ingredients, I have spent a large amount of treasures, and it has truly made me bankrupt. But the ingredients are all prepared, and I am only lacking one ingredient to successfully create it. Dongfeng said. Lacking one ingredient? Could it be? That's right, it's you. You plan to throw me into the cauldron to refine the pill? Su Yun was startled. Only the demonic realm cultivators and evil realm cultivators would do such a thing. It is still lacking a powerful, profound spirit force ingredient. Originally, I could use other things to replace it, but I no longer have enough treasures and energy to search for such ingredients, so I have no choice but to let you do it for me. The sinister look in Dongfeng's eyes became even more obvious. He said coldly, Now, quickly, hand over the shape-shifting bone piece to me. I can promise you, as long as you hand it over, I can give you a comfortable death. If you don't, I will throw you into the cauldron and refine you to death. You are truly perverse. You have the qualifications to say that. Compared to killing people, your methods are many times stronger than mine. But, Sly, you dare to touch the woman that I have my eyes on. Do you really think that I, Dongfeng, am easy to bully? Today, I will let you know the consequences of provoking me, Dongfeng. Dongfeng laughed sinisterly. Master Dongfeng, don't waste time. Since he doesn't know what's good for him, then throw him into the cauldron. Zhao Ru, who was by the side, laughed. Compared to the indestructible gold body pill, what is a shape-shifting bone piece? After refining it, there will be a total of 3 pills. Each of us will have one, and after consuming it, our bodies will be strengthened and indestructible. Our strength will increase greatly, and our position in the profound sky sect will also rise. Master, you will definitely be able to rise by leaps and bounds in the ranks of the elites, and at that time, you will be able to obtain any treasures. Isn't that right? What you said makes sense, but there is something that you are wrong about. Dongfeng squinted his eyes. He suddenly raised both of his hands, accumulating a burst of energy. He grabbed Ouyang Ke, who was by the side, grabbed him by the neck, and threw him into the cauldron. Ouyang was shocked. He immediately retaliated, but he was only at the 8th stage of the spirit soul realm and was not Dongfeng's opponent. Before he could even react, he was thrown into the cauldron. The lid was once again closed, and a seal immediately enveloped the cauldron. Ouyang tried his best to open the cauldron, but his strength was completely unable to break open the lid. Very quickly, the cauldron started to shake frantically, and Ouyang heart-wrenching screams could be heard. Dongfeng, why? Let me out. Let me out. Didn't you say that if I work for you, you will reward me with an indestructible gold body pill? Why? Let me out. The sound slowly became weaker, and the cauldron gradually became calm again. Obviously, Ouyang was refined. Xiaoru was dumbstruck. She watched the scene in a daze. She never thought that Dongfeng would actually do such a thing. Suyin was also surprised. According to the recipe, this cauldron can only produce 2 pills, so there will be one person who will not get one. Of course, I do not wish for my little darling to not have any pills to eat, so I can only throw Ouyang in. Dongfeng laughed. He extended his hand out and grabbed Zhao Ru's chest. When the pills are refined, we will each have one, along with my dual cultivation technique. Our cultivation will soar by leaps and bounds, ha. His egotistical laughter resonated throughout the entire pavilion. Zhao Ru regained her senses. A look of fear flashed past her eyes, but she forced a smile on her face and continued to throw flirtatious glances at Dongfeng. Master Dongfeng, you have scared me to death. Relax. I will only make a move on Ouyang. You are my darling. I cannot bear to throw you in as well. Dongfeng licked his lips. All right, master, it's about time. This person is not willing to hand over the shapeshift bone piece. You don't have to be courteous. Throw him in as well. Xiaoru covered her mouth and laughed. He is refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. So don't blame me. A cold intent flashed past Dongfeng's eyes. He walked over and brandished out a sharp dagger that was suffused with blue light and directly stabbed towards Su Yun's chest. It was a slight deviation from the heart and landed on the arteries and main qi channels. Su Yun would not die from this attack, but he would be heavily injured and the profound spirit qi in his body would be in a mess, which was the weakness of a spirit cultivator. This guy's cultivation is about the same as mine. I will first cripple him, then throw him into the cauldron to be refined. With that said, the dagger pierced forward. But just at that moment, a vigorous and powerful hand grabbed onto the blue dagger. The dagger immediately stopped. Dongfeng's face changed. He suddenly raised his head, only to see that the person in front of him had unknowingly broken free from the qi hand and was smiling at him. He broke free. The formation's effect was actually ineffective against him. What? That's impossible. Even a first-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator is unable to break free from the formation. Master Sly, when did you reach such a level of cultivation? Xiaoru cried out in fear. What's going on? Dongfeng was also startled. If a first-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator can't do it, then what about a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator? Su Yun's eyes revealed a sinister look. He suddenly slashed out with his hand, directly smashing onto Dongfeng's shoulder. The profound spirit qi that rippled out from his hand entered Dongfeng's body like mercury, spreading throughout his entire body, shattering all of his bones. Dongfeng's body went limp and instantly fell to the ground. He screamed miserably. The pain from all of his bones shattering caused him to faint. Zhao Ru was so frightened that she sat on the ground, her eyes filled with fear as she looked at the person who walked out of the formation. Who exactly are you? You are definitely not Sly. Sly's cultivation cannot possibly reach the Spirit Star Realm so quickly. Who exactly are you? Dongfeng screamed in pain. Didn't I tell you before? You just didn't believe me. Su Yun said. Hearing that, Dongfeng's eyes immediately constricted. His heart was about to jump out of his throat. Why you? Are you really limitless? Su Yun? Do you believe me now? Su Yun grabbed onto Dongfeng's body and lifted him up. He gently waved his hand and directly opened the lid of the cauldron and dragged Dong Feng towards the cauldron. Su Yun, no, don't. Let me go. Spare my life. I beg you to spare my life. Dong Feng was in despair. He screamed his lungs out, the fear and despair in his eyes becoming denser and denser. You already know my identity. I have no reason to let you go. With that said, Dong Feng was directly thrown into the cauldron. The miserable shriek came out, but the cauldron did not move. Dong Feng, without his bones, was like a pile of rotten meat and could only be roasted to death by the cauldron. Indestructible gold body pill. Good stuff. I did not come here for nothing. Su Yun muttered. He turned and looked at Zhao Ru. The current Zhao Ru was trembling in fear. The profound spirit chi around her automatically dissipated. She no longer had any fighting strength left. Why you want to kill me? Zhao Ru shouted while trembling. Do you think I should kill you? Su Yun asked. But he had the intention to make use of Zhao Ru, since she seemed to be easy to control. But just at that moment, Zhao Ru suddenly took down the disciple badge on her waist and was actually activating her profound spirit chi to ask for help from the profound sky sect. Seeing that, Su Yun did not hesitate anymore. He pulled out the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword and pierced toward Zhao Ru. Zhao Ru's body twitched and fell down. Chapter 346. Bang! A muffled sound came out from the pavilion. The cauldron in the center opened up, and green smoke started to leak out. Su Yun was ecstatic. He anxiously removed the array formation below the cauldron, and with a leap, he jumped to the mouth of the cauldron and looked down. He saw a golden pill lying quietly in the cauldron. Indestructible gold body pill. Su Yun was ecstatic. But why is there only one? Could it be that Dong Feng has been lying to the two of them from the start? Maybe Zhao Ru will be harmed by Dong Feng in the end. Now that Zhao Ru, Dong Feng, and Ouyang Ke are dead, I can't stay here for long. Luckily, no one saw me when Dong Feng came to look for me. If not, it would be troublesome. Su Yun thought. He took the indestructible gold body pill and immediately snuck out of the pavilion, flying towards Slice Cultivation Jade Platform. Upon entering the Jade Platform, he activated the array formation and quickly entered the house. He activated the large array formation in the center of the house and swallowed the indestructible gold body pill. Although the indestructible gold body pill emitted a fragrant smell, it was still a pill refined with 2 corpses, causing the pill to have a strange stench, causing him to feel uncomfortable. The indestructible gold body pill was the pill that Su Yun needed the most. With the pill, his fleshly body would be strengthened, the spirit demon emperor's power would be consolidated, and he would be able to completely use the 3rd stage of the spirit star realm, and would be able to advance towards the 4th stage of the spirit demon emperor, and more importantly, he would be able to continue using the sealed death sword. Su Yun stayed in the house for a full 3 days before completely digesting the pill. At that moment, his entire body was releasing a gold light. The blood vessels, organs, bones, and muscles in his body had all received a perfect amplification, reaching a new peak. The strength of his fleshly body was at least 50 times stronger than before, and even if he were to receive an attack from the spirit demon emperor head-on, it would not be fatal. Very good. Su Yun stood up and displayed his muscles and bones, his heart filled with joy. Your fleshly body has strengthened so quickly. Seems like you had some fortuitous encounter. Just then, Ling Qingyu's voice came out from the sword sheath. Su Yun took out the sword sheath from his storage ring and saw a burst of white light. Following that, the white light flew out and landed in front of Su Yun, quickly transforming into a beautiful lady. It was Ling Qingyu. She was still wearing the same simple but incomparably snow-white clothes. Her exquisite feet were bare as she stood there. There was an obscure heroic spirit hidden in her delicate body. Her chest was moderate and was lightly covered by her clothes. Strands of long black hair hung down her shoulders. Her beautiful hair was extremely long and almost fell to the ground. No matter how one looked at her, she was perfect and flawless. Such a person indeed should only appear in a fairyland. Su Yun was a little absent-minded, but he could not be blamed. He believed that any man would be like this. He collected his thoughts and laughed. Eh, Qingyu, long time no see. Have you recovered? Umph. Do you only remember me when you're in trouble? Every time, I would be tormented by you until I was exhausted before I could go back to rest. Just as I recovered, I have to be used by you again. If I knew it would be like this, I wouldn't have bothered with you. Ling Qingyu hugged her breasts and snorted, expressing her dissatisfaction. Regret? A little. Sorry. There definitely won't be a next time. Su Yin laughed embarrassedly. Ling Qingyu glanced at him, then looked around and asked, Where is this? Profound Sky Sect. Profound Sky Sect? Ling Qingyu was shocked. Aren't you the sworn enemy of the Profound Sky Sect? Could it be that you were captured by them? If I was captured by them, I reckon that I would have been locked up in a cell and interrogated by them, and forced to reveal Qing Er's whereabouts. How can you still see me in such a complete state? Then, I snuck into the Profound Sky Sect. Su Yin laughed. Ling Qingyu was startled for a moment, then said, Are the Profound Sky Sect people idiots? How can they let you sneak in so easily? The Profound Sky Sect people are not stupid, but I obtained a treasure that allows me to perfectly disguise as a Profound Sky Sect person and sneak in. Su Yin told Ling Qingyu about Sly. After hearing it, she was extremely surprised. She never thought that Su Yin would be able to adapt to the situation and sneak into the Profound Sky Sect. What do you plan to do in the Profound Sky Sect? Don't tell me you want to destroy the Profound Sky Sect. Come to think of it, if you disguise as the sect leader of the Profound Sky Sect, you might have a chance, but what's the use of disguising as an elite of a sect? Disguise as the sect leader? Then I have to at least kill the sect leader, but if he dies, the Profound Sky Sect will most likely not chase after me and Qing Er. Aren't you just spouting nonsense? Furthermore, I have never seen the sect leader before. How can I disguise myself? Su Yin sighed. Then what do you plan to do here? At least I can gather the latest information here, and the most dangerous place is also the safest, so I don't have to worry about the Profound Sky Sect chasing after me. Of course, if I have the chance, I naturally want to end everything. Su Yin laughed. Chance? Ling Qingyu did not understand, but in that moment, she suddenly thought of something, her face revealing a look of astonishment. She looked at Su Yin in shock. Don't tell me he wants to. That's right, Qingyu. Now that my cultivation has risen to the 3rd stage of the Spirit Star Realm, my strength has increased greatly, my limitless sword arts has also increased greatly, and I'm currently practicing the 3rd sword of the 4 swords. Once I master it, I can control over 10,000 swords, but currently the sword sheath does not have that many subdued swords, so I plan to make a trip to the sword sheath world. Hee. If you didn't say it, I would have mentioned it to you. In this period of time when I was recuperating, I met with many primal swords. Su Yin, you are now very strong with the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword and the death sword. Subduing the other primal swords is not difficult. I have my eyes on an extremely special primal sword. If you can obtain it, it will definitely increase your strength greatly. Oh, Su Yin became alert and asked anxiously, What sword is it? It's a mother sword called the Desolator. Just follow me. Ling Qingyu said, then transformed into a light aura and returned to the sword sheath. Su Yin swallowed his saliva. Without hesitation, he placed the sword sheath on the ground, activated it, and immediately stepped in. So a white light flashed in front of him. The space around him changed, and he once again appeared in a place that he had not seen for a long time. All around him was the boundless blue sky. White clouds fluttered around him. A light breeze blew gently, and many palaces with swords as the bones floated in the sky. Follow me. Ling Qingyu called out to Su Yin. Her pure white feet gently tapped on the ground, and she soared in the sky like a goose feather. Su Yin brandished the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword. With a tap of his feet, he stepped on it. When the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword appeared, all of the sub-swords that were subdued by the primal sword flew over from all directions, like loyal guards protecting Su Yin. The 1,000 swords flew together. It was a spectacular sight. Su Yin followed closely behind Ling Qingyu and sped through the sky. Hey, Su Yin, let me ask you, do you think that you understand the limitless sword arts? Understand? Su Yin was startled, then shook his head bitterly. My understanding is too shallow. Up till now, I have only used the images provided by the higher-ups to control the swords, but this should be enough, after all, to control so many swords to attack. Out of all the mystical techniques that have appeared in the Sky Martial continent, the limitless sword arts is definitely at the peak level. Then have you learned the sword formation? Sword formation? Su Yin was startled. Don't tell me you didn't learn it. Sigh, to think that you can control so many swords, but you don't know how to arrange the sword formation. A simple sword formation can usually unleash a much stronger power than the sword itself. Sigh. The sword elder died early. You can understand even if you did not learn it. When I have time, I will teach you a few simple sword formations. Ling Qingyu said with a helpless look. Then I will have to thank you, Qingyu. Su Yin laughed and said gratefully, I am just repaying Master Sword Ancestor's kindness. Ling Qingyu snorted. The two of them continued flying, passing through many sword paths filled with sub-swords. The dazzling array of strange swords truly opened Su Yun's eyes, causing him to exclaim in surprise along the way. The world inside the sword sheath was truly unimaginable, and he did not know how many mystical places there were that he had not seen before. Su Yun suddenly looked forward to it. We're here. Just then, Ling Qingyu, who was flying in front, suddenly stopped. Su Yun stopped and looked ahead, only to see a black square-shaped sword palace floating not far away. The sword palace only had one sword path, and the sword path looked to be less than 10 m long, and the sword palace did not seem to be big, and was much smaller than all the sword palaces that he had seen before. Is this the sword palace of the primal sword desolator? Su Yun asked. Yes. Why do I feel that it has subdued so few sub-swords? Indeed, not many. It has only subdued 300 sub-swords. Oh, that's 3 times less than the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword. The might of a primal sword is not determined by the number of sub-swords, but by its power. Ling Qingyu revealed a strange smile, then extended out her jade-like arms, and made a pleased gesture toward Su Yun, and laughed. You can try its power. Su Yun's eyes tensed up. He stared at the sword palace. He took a deep breath and suddenly raised his hand. All the spirit essences in his body started to spin frantically, using all his profound spirit chi. Buzz, 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 buzz at the same time. The 1,000 sub-swords surrounding him all started to tremble. With his current cultivation, he was able to challenge all the primal swords in the sword sheath and did not need to be restrained like before. Su Yun calmed himself down, looking at the extremely simple and crude small version of the sword palace. With a thought, he rushed forward like a shadow. In that moment, the 1,000 sub-swords transformed into 1,000 streaks of lightning, all flying towards the sword palace. The sharp sword chi was like a gigantic net that covered the sky, enveloping the sword palace. But, just at that moment, the sword palace started to move. A circle of gray ripples spread out from the center of the sword palace. Su Yun's pupils constricted. Just as he was about to move, he heard a shio sound. The entire sword palace disappeared. What? Su Yun's heart tensed up. Chapter 347. The 1,000 swords lost their target and paced back and forth in front of Su Yun. The clouds in front of them were calm and gentle, as though nothing had happened. Su Yun looked at the strange scene in shock and felt that something was wrong. This desolator, could it be? Not bad. Ling Qingyu, who was at the side, smiled and said, This sword is different from the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword. The immortal mystical scarlet blood sword's strength lies in its leadership. It is a leader's sword. When the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword stabs into the enemy, it will leave an imprint, and this imprint will attract all of its sub-swords to attack, an attack that will never stop. It was extremely terrifying, but it was not the strongest. If one were to talk about a sword that could kill, then it would definitely be the assassin-type desolator. Not only can it cut through iron like mud, it can easily break through the enemy's profound spirit chi and treasures, and it even has the ability to become invisible. Invisibility? In battle, it can release a circle of sword concept, and this circle of sword concept is able to shield all of the sub-swords around it, and can easily kill people without them knowing. The opponent does not know how many swords you are controlling how long the swords are, or the strength of the profound spirit chi on the swords, how can they fight against you? Perhaps some opponents with poor senses wouldn't even know if you were wielding a sword. Don't you think that's scary? Suddenly, Pucci, Su Yun's arm silently tore open a large hole. Fresh blood spurted out, and an extremely weak sword intent rushed towards him. Not good. The Desolator had arrived. Su Yun's mind twitched, his body retreating frantically. He retrieved the 1,000 swords and coiled them around his body, forming a sword wall to defend. Ding, ding, dang, dang. Just then, the sword wall seemed to have been hit by something, releasing a very concentrated sound of impact. A large amount of sword intent and sparks splashed out. Su Yun only felt that he was thrown into a storm. He gritted his teeth and looked around. However, he could not sense the location of the Desolator and its subordinate swords. They were invisible and soundless. How could he fight against them? There is only one way to locate the Desolator, and that is to understand its sword will. Just then, Ling Qingyu spoke. Understand its sword intent? How can I calm down and comprehend it at this time? This is a test of your mental fortitude. A true expert was someone who could calm down and find a way to defeat an enemy who was countless times stronger than him. If you can't even do this, then don't even think about conquering the 108,000 swords here. Ling Qingyu's voice became serious. Hearing that, Su Yun frowned. Qingyu is right. At a time like this, I cannot panic. Only by calming down and searching for a way is the only way to survive. The construction of the sword wall relied on profound spirit chi. By attaching the profound spirit chi to every sword and controlling them to form a defensive stance. But when the sword wall was attacked, the first thing that was consumed was naturally his profound spirit chi. Thus, under such a situation where he was being bombarded, Su Yun's profound spirit chi was like a leaking balloon, frantically leaking out. He could not maintain it for long. Even with the support of the monarch occult force, it was difficult to resist. Time was running out. The more it was like this, the calmer he had to be. He closed his eyes and listened to everything around him, activating the spirit essence. The hissing sound that it emitted was like a stream of air, but mixed within this stream of air, there were definitely other sounds. Su Yun still remembered the things he had learned in the Devil Sect in his previous life. Hard ear. That was a type of sensory organ that belonged to the soul. The physical body's sensory organs came from the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, etc. The brain was the center of all the sensory organs, and the soul's sensory organs came from the heart, eye, hard ear, heart, nose, etc. The heart was the center of all the soul's sensory organs, and the soul was the vessel. People who were able to train their soul's sensory organs could be said to have abnormal senses. In a battle, they could sense the opponent's attack at the same time, the direction of the opponent's attack, as well as its destructive power. It was truly knowing oneself and knowing one's enemy. This was an extremely terrifying method of using sensory organs to analyze the enemy's fighting strength. There were very few people in the Devil Sect who had such abilities, and only those with heaven-defying methods would be able to train their own soul's sensory organs. Su Yun did not have extravagant hopes of training his hard eye, hard ear, heart, nose, etc. He only needed a pair of hard ear or a pair of hard eye. The resounding, clanging sounds of the sword wall being struck was still there, and the weak sound of profound spirit chi leaking out from the spirit essence was still there. Su Yun calmed his mind and focused everything into his heart. Ignoring all the sounds from the outside world, he only maintained the activation of his spirit essences, and his entire being was in the void realm. His mind was clear of everything. He could not think of winning, nor could he think of losing. Everything was natural. He could feel the soul within him. Quiet. I must be quiet. He had to eliminate the sounds that he did not want to hear and automatically filter them out. He had to assimilate all of his bones, flesh, and hair with his heart, and focus all of his attention on his hard ear. Gradually, the intense sounds of the sword wall being struck slowed down. Slowly, the sound of the spirit essence releasing spirit chi also gradually disappeared. The surroundings started to become quiet and empty. Su Yun felt as though he was no longer in the sword world, but in a world that only belonged to him. Voila! So just then, a series of light sounds came out, as though an intruder had suddenly barged into his own world. It was not intense, but he could hear it clearly. It's the sword concept. Su Yun suddenly opened his eyes. He raised the immortal, mystical scarlet blood sword in his hand. He tore a small hole in the sword wall and struck it. Clang! A gray ripple spread out, and an inconspicuous grayish-white longsword was struck out. In that instant, the space within a kilometer of the surrounding area trembled, and a large number of sword phantoms flickered in the air for a while before quickly disappearing. So powerful. You actually caught the Desolator's traces. Attacking the Desolator can make the swords reveal themselves. Ling Qing you could not help but exclaim out, then continued. But if you only rely on this, you will definitely not be able to defeat the Desolator. If you want to subdue it, you have to constantly capture its position and force it to be unable to form a sword formation. Only then can you subdue it. Su Yun, I will now teach you a basic sword formation. It can help you defeat the Desolator. Are you willing to learn? Qing Yu, quickly teach me. Su Yun clenched his teeth and shouted. You are truly an impatient person. Ling Qing Yu muttered, then calmly recited the chant. This sword formation is called the 8 parts, 8-hole formation. It is very simple. With your current cultivation and talent, learning is not difficult. You just have to remember the chant with the bone as the heart as the blood as the Tao as the bone, condense the head, and take the eye. This sword formation requires at least 16 swords to activate. You can control 1,000 swords, and the sword formation is even more terrifying. It all depends on whether you can control it or not. The 8-part sword is for defense. The 8-hole sword is for offense. The separation is for retreat. The retreat is for defense. The combination is for advancement. The advancement is for offense. But regardless of whether it is to attack or defend, combine or separate, it requires a fixed point, a point to guide them. And that point is you. Ling Qing Yu spoke quickly, but her words were clear. Su Yun could understand, but in the intense battle of the 1,000 swords, to condense the 1,000 swords into a sword formation, the difficulty was obvious. He took a deep breath and formed the 1,000 swords into a sword wall. He quickly retreated, pulling a distance away from the formless Desolator. Following that, according to Ling Qing Yu's chant, he split the 1037 swords into 2, one for the separation, the other for the combination. The separate swords revolve around his body. Used as defense, the combined swords revolved around Su Yun, waiting for an opportunity to move. The originally messy 1,000 swords became orderly at this moment, all of them with Su Yun as the center, displaying their own functions. Even so, the profound spirit qi in Su Yun's body was flowing out like a flood. The consumption of profound spirit qi was 4 to 5 times more than usual. The monarch occult force was completely unleashed. Clang, clang, clang. The crisp sound of the flying swords clashing against each other was like a torrential downpour hitting a roof. The sound did not stop. The large amount of sword concepts wreaked havoc. The terrifying sword pressure was like 2 huge waves clashing against each other. At this time, the Desolator transformed into a powerful current and rushed towards Su Yun's heart. It was like an invisible divine dragon, roaring angrily. If not for Su Yun's soul senses capturing this invisible dragon, he would not even know how he died. Separate. Su Yun waved the immortal, mystical scarlet blood sword in his hand, releasing a large amount of profound spirit qi into the surrounding swords. The main and split swords immediately converged together, forming a square sword shield, blocking Su Yun's front. Boom! The Desolator fiercely smashed over, shattering the swords, but the hidden dragon formed by the Desolator was also dispersed, and the 300 swords immediately crumbled. A good chance, Su Yun thought, and immediately controlled the combined swords to attack the Desolator in the center of the hidden dragon. The Desolator was in the center, and with the combined swords surrounding it, it had nowhere to run. Buzz, 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 buzz. Suddenly, the Desolator's sword body started to tremble waves of sword hums spread out like ripples. All the combined swords that were attacking it immediately started to sway and became weak. No, Su-yun, you're controlling too many swords. Your power is scattered. It is not enough to deal with the Desolator. It saw this point and relied on its sword pressure to break the combined sword attack. You need to be more focused. Ling Qingyu exclaimed. Focus. Su-yun's eyes congealed. He listened to the Desolator's voice, confirmed its position, and once again gathered his profound spirit chi and controlled the combined swords to attack. But it was still ineffective. The combined swords swayed, and the closer they got to the Desolator, the stronger the sword pressure they had to endure, and the more they trembled, as though flying was extremely strenuous, much less attacking it. So, just then, the swords that were revolving around Su-yun suddenly moved. They gave up on defense and transformed into a crescent shape, striking the combined swords. Su-yun, what are you doing? Ling Qingyu exclaimed. When the swords came out, Su-yun suddenly retreated, dodging the Desolator's sword attack. The Desolator did not expect Su-yun to give up on defense and used the swords to attack it, and immediately summoned the swords around to defend. Clang, 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 the split sword struck onto the swords protecting the Desolator, causing a large amount of ripples to explode out. But that was not Su-yun's main goal. The combined swords behind grabbed the gap of the Desolator and attacked together, but the place they attacked was not the Desolator, but the split swords. Ling Qingyu's eyes widened. Kung, 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 the sword's tip pierced the combined sword's hilt. The power was transmitted, and the combined swords that were blocked released an astonishing power, directly smashing the swords' bodies, and clashed onto the Desolator. Clang, 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 the concentrated swords directly struck onto the Desolator's sword body, causing crackling sounds to resound out. In that moment, the Desolator's sword pressure disappeared, and the swords around it dispersed, completely losing control. Xiao! The Desolator and its swords all appeared and stopped in the air. Chapter 348. Ling Qingyu was still in the air. She stared blankly at Su-yun. After a long while, she finally closed her mouth and spoke out, powerful to actually fully utilize the power of the two swords to form a combined attack. Su-yun, the 8 parts 8 whole sword formation does not have such a technique. You actually managed to improve it the moment you learned it. I truly do not know if I should call you an idiot or a genius. Do you know what kind of price you will have to pay if you fail? I have no other choice. Su-yun laughed bitterly. I have already been forced to such a state. If I do not take the risk, how can I win against this sword? Ling Qingyu opened her mouth, but did not know what to say. The Desolator was still floating in the air, but it was no longer moving, nor was it invisible. Su-yun knew that he had subdued it. He flew over and grabbed onto the Desolator's sword hilt, and at the same time, the 300 subswords flew over at the same time and revolved above Su-yun's head. Su-yun's heart was slightly stirred. He carefully sized up the sword. The Desolator's blade was not considered long. It was shorter than an ordinary sword by a foot, and the sword's blade was grayish-white. The sword hilt did not have any gems or decorations. The entire sword did not have any light halo, and looked extremely unremarkable. But it was this unremarkable sword that gave off a formless and fatal danger. Su-yun secretly activated his profound spirit chi and imbued it into the sword blade. In that moment, the Desolator trembled, and a circle of grayish-white ripples spread out in all directions. In that moment, including the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword, all the swords disappeared. However, Su-yun could clearly feel their existence. All 1,300 swords were invisible. How terrifying was that? With the help of the Desolator, even if I meet a 4th-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator, I will have the strength to fight. Su-yun said happily. Don't look down on 4th-stage Spirit Star Realm experts. Ling Qingyu said with a serious face. Existences of this level have countless methods, and they have countless powerful treasures, and usually have 1 or 2 trump cards. You must not be careless. It is extremely difficult for a Spirit Star Realm cultivator to cultivate, Every single one of them have experienced unimaginable dangers and fortuitous encounters. You must remember this. The people that Ling Qingyu interacted with were all tyrants, and her knowledge was much greater than his. Naturally, Su Yin nodded his head and accepted her advice. After obtaining the Desolator, Su Yin did not place it on his back anymore. The Desolator did not have the violent temperament of the immortal mystical Scarlet Blood Sword and the Death Sword. After being subdued, it was so quiet that it was scary. Su Yin then left it in the sword sheath and left the sword sheath. Ling Qingyu did not leave the sword sheath. Instead, she found an empty space and started a train. Returning to the house, Su Yin sighed. He had already obtained 2 primal swords and had 1,300 flying swords in his hands. His strength had increased by a lot. But compared to the Desolator, Su Yin was more concerned about the sword formation that Ling Qingyu had imparted to him. Although it was just an elementary sword formation, he could feel the power contained within, and the sword formation was much more effective than him relying on sword arts to hack and slash. He still remembered that the Sword Elder had once said that the sword he controlled could be imbued with sword techniques, but the sword techniques were too scattered, while the sword formation was a whole, and a chopstick was much stronger than a single chopstick. Su Yin composed himself and sat down cross-legged. He started to comprehend the 8 parts, 8 whole sword formation and trained his profound spirit chi. After an unknown period of time, is Master Sly in? Just then, a respectful voice came out from outside. Su Yin opened his eyes. After thinking for a while, he ignored it and continued to train. But just then, the voice came out again. Master Sly, we are the disciples of the law enforcement team. If you are here, please open the enchantment. We have something to ask you. Law enforcement team? Su Yin was startled. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something, and his expression tensed up. Could it be because of Dong Feng? If I ignore it this time, it might lead to other people's guesses. He took a deep breath and walked out of the house. As soon as he left the house, he saw 4 spirit cultivators with green blades floating outside the jade platform. They were dressed in the same uniform. All of them were dressed in black and yellow lines. Some of the vital parts of their bodies were inlaid with golden armors, making them look rather mighty. The order badge on their waists was not an ordinary disciple badge, but a golden order badge with the word law engraved on it. Seeing that Sly walked out, the law enforcement team people only cupped their fists, but did not do anything respectful. Seeing that, Su Yin muttered in his mind, seems like the sect elites are not considered powerful in the eyes of the law enforcement team people. Master Sly, I am Qin Song from the law enforcement team, and am in charge of investigating the disappearance of the sect Elite Dong Feng. Can I ask if Master is free? Qin Song wants to ask Master a few questions. What? Dong Feng is missing? But what does that have to do with me? You guys can't be thinking that I imprisoned him, right? Su Yin pretended to be angry and snorted at the 4 of them. Master, don't be angry. We do not have such intentions. Qin Song immediately said, although the sect elites were not considered powerful in their eyes, but the law enforcement team's position was below the sect elites, Qin Song's master was enough to prove that Su Yin had the qualifications to be angry. Master, we only thought that Master Dong Feng has a good relationship with you, so we came over to ask a few questions. We do not have any other intentions. Master, please do not make guesses. Humph, I don't think you guys dare. Su Yin pretended to be angry, then waved his hand and removed the enchantment. Qin Song and the other 4 law enforcement team members flew in. What happened to Dong Feng? Why is he missing? Su Yin sat cross-legged on the ground, and while meditating, he asked, with regards to Master Dong Feng, we do not know much. The disciples of the location hall suddenly caught traces of Master Dong Feng's order badge. We tried to contact Master Dong Feng, but to no avail, and we do not know his whereabouts. The disciples guarding the mountain said that Master Dong Feng did not leave the Profound Sky sect, so the clan elder ordered us to investigate this matter. So, it's like that, Su Yin muttered calmly, but his heart tensed up. I never thought that the Profound Sky sect order badge would actually have an imprint. Once it is destroyed, the Profound Sky sect will definitely sense it. If I knew about it, I would have taken Dong Feng's order badge before dealing with him. Everyone in the Profound Sky sect knows that Master Dongfeng and Master Sly have an extremely good relationship. So he specially came here to ask, Master, when was the last time you saw Master Sly? Qin Song laughed. But when he said that, Su Yun's face did not look good. Dongfeng and Sly's relationship can be called good? Most likely, it is because of the grudge between the two of them that they are suspicious, right? Furthermore, Su Yun did not know if anyone else knew about Dongfeng coming to see him. If they knew, and he said that he had not seen him recently, wouldn't that attract suspicion? He thought for a moment, then said, after I returned from a mission, Master Dongfeng came to see me once. Because I was heavily injured, he gave me a clear mind 3-cent pill to help me recover. I consumed the pill and recuperated here. Master Dongfeng also left. As for where he went after that, I do not know. Hearing that, the law enforcement members secretly exchanged glances. Qin Song's eyes revealed a trace of seriousness and perplexity. In the end, he sighed and cupped his fists. Since it is so, then we will have to trouble Master. We still need to go to other places to investigate. We will not stay for long. Master will take his leave. My injuries have not healed. I need to rest. I will not send you off. Master, please wait. Qin Song and the rest said respectfully, then turned and left the jade platform. Once the group of people left, Su Yun's tensed-up nerves finally relaxed. Seeing the look in Qin Song's eyes, he did not suspect Su Yun. Since Sly had just returned from a mission and was heavily injured, why would he do anything to Dongfeng at such a time? Even if he wanted to, the injured Sly would not be able to do anything to Dongfeng. However, if his identity was exposed in the Profound Sky sect, he would truly die without a burial. Su Yun could not rush out of the mountain range that was sealed by hundreds of enchantments. If he was unable to rush out in time, he would be killed by the experts of the Profound Sky sect. Su Yun's eyes flickered. He activated the Shadow Locket and contacted Great Obscure. Master, Great Obscure's respectful voice came out. What happened to Dongfeng? Su Yun asked. Dongfeng? Master, how did you know that something happened to Dongfeng? Great Obscure's surprised voice came out. Before the news had spread, Su Yun already knew. It was as though he was in the Profound Sky sect. Don't ask too much. Tell me about the current situation regarding Dongfeng in the Profound Sky sect. Great Obscure calmed himself down, then said, according to Second Shadow and Third Obscure's investigations, the people from the location hall have confirmed that Master Dongfeng is dead, and the law enforcement team is currently investigating the cause of Master Dongfeng's death, because the disciples guarding the mountain did not activate the enchantment. Master Dongfeng could not have left the Profound Sky sect. Thus, the law enforcement team thinks that it was our sect's people who killed Master Dongfeng. Oh, why does it seem like it is very serious? Sigh, it isn't considered serious, but it isn't considered not serious either. The Profound Sky sect is a place where the strong eat the weak. In truth, people die every few days because of fighting for resources or forming factions. The disciples often have conflicts, and the higher-ups of the Profound Sky sect rarely manage the people at the bottom, so the deaths of the disciples at the bottom are very common. But this time, the elites of the sect died, and the law enforcement team, who have been idling and doing nothing, had no choice but to personally come out to investigate. But from the looks of it, I reckon that the law enforcement team is just putting on a show. Maybe after a period of time, they will not have any leads, and we'll have to leave it to the side. Hearing that, Su Yun frowned. According to what you said, the Profound Sky sect should be in chaos? But why is it so powerful now? Does Master not understand this logic? What logic? The more people there are, the more chaotic it gets. Why is the Profound Sky sect in chaos? That is because the scale of the sect is beyond imagination, and many other sects combined cannot compare to it. So, it is hard to manage. That is why it is in chaos. But now, even if the Profound Sky sect is in chaos, it is not something that other sects can contend against. Great Obscure said seriously. Su Yun became quiet. That's right, Master. Fifth Anwu just sent a secret report to you. It is a secret regarding a top-grade treasure. I think that if you can obtain it, Master is a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. If you obtain it, it will be like adding wings to a tiger. What treasure? Su Yun asked. Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon. Chapter 349. Great Negative Yang, Immortal Cannon? What's that? Su Yun asked with a head full of fog. It is said that it is a treasure with extremely terrifying destructive power. After activating it, it can absorb the surging profound spirit chi from the heaven and earth, converging it within the body, and after 10 breaths of time, it will launch an attack. It is said that this treasure is able to break through the defense of a spirit master cultivator. Master, if you want to fight against the profound sky sex lord in the future, you will need this treasure. Great Obscure said, Spirit master cultivator? Su Yun was stunned. His heart immediately started to jump. After a long while, he regained his senses and asked seriously, Where is this treasure now? Demonic Skeletal Bones Cave. Demonic Skeletal Bones Cave? What is that place? It is the newest demonic spirit cave, discovered by the Profound Sky Sect. Great Obscure paused for a moment, then continued. There are a large number of demonic skeletal bones inside. It is said that 1,300 years ago, the Ancient Heart Nation and the Proud Moon Nation started a war, and both sides invested a total of 300,000 men to fight on the plains. All of the soldiers were spirit cultivators, but because a high-ranking officer of the Ancient Heart Nation suddenly changed sides, it caused the marshal of the Ancient Heart Nation to be assassinated, and on the day of the decisive battle, his head was directly chopped off. The Proud Moon Nation raised the marshal's head up high and shouted that they would not kill those who surrendered, causing the morale of the Ancient Heart Nation's army to plummet, and the Ancient Heart Nation's army was defeated, and the 100,000 soldiers became prisoners of war. However, the Proud Moon Nation did not fulfill their promise to not kill those who surrendered, and after the army surrendered, he split them into 10 batches and killed the 100,000 soldiers one by one, and buried their corpses inside the demonic skeletal bones cave. Years passed, and one day, the king of skeletal bones demon found this place, and used its mystical techniques to revive the undead army, thus creating the current demonic skeletal bones cave. The Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon is rumored to be a divine object used by immortals, and is at least of the Yang grade, maybe even higher. This subordinate does not know how the king of skeletal bones demon obtained it, but without question, it is definitely a treasure that everyone covets. Then what does this treasure have to do with the Profound Sky Sect? Su Yun asked. A few months ago, the Profound Sky Sect had already sent out a force of 3,000 disciples, under the lead of an elite, to attack the demonic skeletal bones cave. Recently, the demonic skeletal bones cave has been conquered, and the elite is currently holding onto the treasure bestowed by the Lord, and is currently fighting with the Skeletal King Demon. It is estimated that the Skeletal King Demon will be defeated in the near future, and at that time, the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon will definitely be given to the Lord. Thus, the Profound Sky Sect will send a small team to the demonic skeletal bones cave to bring the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon back. This subordinate has already obtained the route. Master can wait for an opportunity to intercept it. Oh! Su Yun's expression changed and said, That means the Profound Sky Sect must obtain it? But come to think of it, why is the Skeletal King Demon unable to fight against the elites of the Profound Sky Sect, even with such a treasure? The Skeletal King Demon fell into the Profound Sky Sect's trap. In truth, when this force was sent out, the Profound Sky Sect had already sent 2 of their elites to attack the Skeletal King Demon, to force out the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon. The Immortal Cannon requires at least 5 days to be used once, which also means that in the next 5 days, the Skeletal King Demon cannot use it again. So the Profound Sky Sect took the opportunity to launch a ferocious attack, and did not give the Skeletal King Demon any chance. So it was like that. Then do you know who the Profound Sky Sect will send to escort the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon? A total of 4 sect elites, 10 elite disciples. The sect elites are Jieshue, who is ranked 30th, Guanzi, who is ranked 43rd, Suyu Lang, who is ranked 45th. Oh right, because of Sly's transformation ability, he is also included in the escort. Oh, Sly's going too? Su Yun was surprised. He never thought that it would be his turn. Yes, Sly can disguise himself, If anyone comes to snatch the treasure, Sly can easily bring the treasure back to the Profound Sky sect. Master, if you want to snatch the treasure, you must be careful of Sly. He is extremely crafty. I know. Su Yun smiled. He suddenly thought of something and asked, "Oh right, Great Obscure, do you know what Sly's rank is amongst the sect elites?" Sly's strength is not high, so his rank is lower, 73. That's low enough. Master, you must definitely be wary of him. All right, that's all for now. If there's anything else, I will contact you again. With that, Su Yun cut off the connection with the Shadow Locket. Inside a disciple's training room in the Profound Sky sect, Great Obscure placed the locket in his hand down and then wore it back on his neck. He took a deep breath and looked around. There were two people seated at the table beside him, and they were Third Obscure and Fourth Shadow. Third Obscure had a boorish appearance. He had a huge stature, but his looks were average. But even with such a majestic stature, it was hard for people to remember him. The Fourth Shadow was a beautiful woman who looked to be around 27 or 28 years old. She had light makeup on and black eyeliner on her face. She was wearing tight black clothes with a ponytail on the back of her head. She looked very capable and somewhat charming. What is it? Why do the two of you look unhappy? Big Obscure noticed the displeasure that flashed past their faces, and he asked, "Big brother, we are not unhappy. We just do not understand." Third Obscure said softly. Great Obscure frowned. Do not understand? Do not understand what? I do not understand why Big Brother is still helping Su Yun. The Su family patriarch is dead. The Su family has fled in all directions. The Julian district's Su family no longer exists. Logically speaking, we have already repaid the debt. Maybe we do not need to live for the owner of the locket anymore. We can leave the Profound Sky sect and live our own lives. Fourth Shadow looked at Great Obscure and said with a serious expression. Great Obscure was quiet for a moment. He then turned his head and looked at Third Obscure. You think so too? Third Obscure. Third Obscure hesitated for a moment, then nodded his head. I understand. Great Obscure heaved a sigh of relief. There was no anger on his face, no hatred, no smile. He only nodded his head calmly, then extended his hand out to the two of them. Give me the locket that you use to communicate with each other. Big brother, give it to me. Great Obscure insisted. Third Obscure and Fourth Shadow looked at each other. In the end, the two of them could not take it anymore. They took down the locket and placed it in Great Obscure's hand. All right, the two of you can leave now. Leave the Profound Sky sect and live the lives you want. Great Obscure kept the locket into his storage ring and said that quietly. He then turned and continued to study the information that he had gathered. The two of them stood there in a daze. They did not understand what Great Obscure meant. Big brother, you're not leaving? Great Obscure swallowed his saliva and asked. No need. Great Obscure revealed a faint smile. The lives of my entire family were saved by the Su family, and even I am indebted to them. Without them, I would have died a long time ago. Although Su Yun was once a traitor of the Su family, but now he has truly been given this locket by the family, and Su Lixiong has truly said those words, so I will continue to be loyal to the Su family and help Su Yun. Of course, this is my own matter. If you want to live your own lives, I will not stop you. Quickly go. Don't hesitate anymore. However, with that said, the two of them did not leave. Instead, they suddenly knelt on the ground, their expressions revealing self-blame. Big brother, if you don't leave, how can we leave? Third Obscure said in pain. Since Big Brother has said so, we will continue to help Su Yun. Fourth Shadow turned her head and clenched her fists tightly. She gritted her teeth. But Big Brother, are we going to live for the Su family our entire lives? Are we going to be the Su family's puppets forever? We respect you, but we do not want to be like this. We're also humans, Big Brother. If this goes on, when will it ever end? Great Obscure looked at the two of them quietly. After a long while, he stood up and walked over to help the two of them up. There will be an end. When Su Yun returns the locket to us. Great Obscure said gently. Fourth Shadow was startled and asked, will that day ever come? Of course. In the azure blue sky, countless of island rocks floated in the air. The island rocks were filled with jade palaces, the dazzling gold and jade buildings and the white light reflected off each other. In front of Slice's training jade platform, dressed in black and wearing a mask, Suyun was currently holding onto a piece of golden paper, looking at the contents on it. It was a decree that a disciple had just sent over from the clan elder's palace, regarding the mission of escorting the great negative Yang immortal cannon. As expected, Suyun carefully looked at the description on the paper, his eyes flashing with a light aura. Since I'm sent to participate in this mission, obtaining the great negative Yang immortal cannon will be much easier. It will be best if I can give the great negative Yang immortal cannon to Sly for safekeeping. That way, I can effortlessly obtain the treasure. Suyun thought, and suddenly a plan flashed past his mind. After thinking for a long time, without hesitation, he kept the golden paper into his storage ring, and then leapt up, activating his profound spirit chi to fly out of the jade platform, and landed downwards. At the bottom of the jade platforms, there was a 9m tall statue. The statue was surrounded by enchantments, and it was said that the statue was a divine object, so ordinary disciples were not allowed to go near it, but the elite disciples and sect elites were allowed to enter. In the profound sky sect, the hierarchy was extremely strict. No one was allowed to cross ranks. If not, they would be seen as deceiving their masters and ancestors, betraying the sect. Such existences would not be expelled by the profound sky sect, but would be killed without mercy. So in the profound sky sect, anything that the sect did not allow, the disciples would not dare to do. As he approached the 30-meter-tall statue, loud laughter could be heard. "Master Sly, you are too slow. Ha ha ha. A pity there is no wine here. If not, I will punish you with a few cups." The one who spoke was a burly man. He was dressed in a brown leather robe. His muscles were swollen. He had a full beard. His hair was rather short, but it was tied into a small braid at his back, making him look extremely fashionable. "Master Guan, you really can't live without wine anywhere. When we leave the sect, we will search along the way and see if there are any good wine, and drink a few cups before we're going to take the treasure. Isn't that better?" A young man dressed in a red robe, with a dark red eye patch on his right eye, laughed. "Master Jieshue is right. He is right. Haha." Guanzi, who was extremely happy. He had met a bosom friend. The other man with straight eyebrows did not speak from start to finish. He crossed his arms in front of his chest, leaning against the statue, and quietly watched Suyun walk over. By the side, there were 10 disciples, all of them standing in an orderly manner. No one dared to move, much less speak. They were like statues, waiting for the sect elites to dispatch them. "All right, everyone, Master Sly is here. Everyone is here. Let us be on our way." Jieshue and Guanzi, who chatted for a while, then walked over and waved his hand, indicating for everyone to move out. The group of people followed behind Jieshue and slowly headed out of the profound sky sect. Chapter 350. Jieshue, Guanzi Hu, and Suyu Lang were all 10th-stage spirit soul realm cultivators. Among them, Jieshue was at the peak of the 10th stage and was just a step away from the spirit star realm. With his methods, he was able to fight against a first-stage spirit star realm cultivator and was extremely powerful. As the one with the highest ranking amongst the four, the leader of the group was naturally him. After exiting the enchantment, Jieshue led the group towards the north. This time, the sect has given us a full month's time. With our speed, it will only take us 2 days to reach the demonic skeletal bones cave. We have plenty of time, so don't be too anxious. Jieshue turned his head and smiled at the other 3 sect elites. "What we need to do now is to find a tavern to sit down and have a few drinks before we continue on our way. The weather is so cold. How can we not have a pot of hot wine to warm our bodies? Don't you think so?" Guanzi laughed. "Cold weather? With your cultivation, how can you be frozen?" Suyun secretly looked down on Guanzi, who he was obviously addicted to alcohol. But what surprised Suyun was that, as the leader, Jieshue actually agreed with Guanzi Hu's weird words. He gave Guanzi Hu a thumbs up and chuckled. "You're right. It's already the winter solstice. We've traveled thousands of miles. It's better to drink some hot wine." "Ha ha ha. Master Jieshue is truly a kindred spirit. Go, go, go. Let's find a tavern in a city and have a good drink. Guanzi, who laughed out loud and immediately flew down. Su Yulang did not make a sound and followed them. Su Yun thought for a moment, but did not say a word. He looked at the three of them, and then sized up the elite disciples and followed Guanzi, Hu, and the rest. The group arrived at Maple Leaf City, roughly 300 li away from the Profound Sky sect. There were not many people in the city, but there was a large-scale tavern. The tavern was bustling with activity, and Guanzi, who seemed to like such places, upon entering the tavern, he shouted, "Waiter, bring me the best wine in your tavern. Give me 10 pots first." 10 pots? The busy waiter was immediately stunned, and the customers in the tavern all looked at each other. Seeing this, Guanzi, whose face darkened, he snorted and said, "I told you to go, so go. Why do you have so many problems? Go get it. If you make me unhappy, I'll tear down your restaurant immediately." The waiter was in a dilemma. Go and serve the wine. Take out all the wine in the cellar. Hurry up." At this time, the shop owner ran over and shouted anxiously. Seeing this, the waiter stopped hesitating. Su Yun saw that the shop owner would occasionally look at the order badge on everyone's waist with a panicked expression, and knew that the shop owner had recognized them as Profound Sky Sect's people. Since they were not far from the Profound Sky Sect, most of the people here had seen Profound Sky Sect disciples before. Since the innkeeper was personally attending to them, the service was naturally very attentive. Soon, more than 10 jars of the best spirit flower wine in the area were carried up. Guanzi, who could not help but directly grab a jar, open the lid, and gulp it down. The sound of gulping could be heard continuously. In just a short while, the 20 kilograms of wine had been completely emptied. Good alcohol tolerance. Jieshue laughed. He was not courteous and immediately drank. Su Yun and Su Yulang had no choice but to drink a few mouthfuls to liven things up, while the elite disciples waited outside the restaurant. After a cup of wine entered his stomach, he felt as though a knife was slicing through his stomach. It was extremely unbearable. Su Yun was considered a wine lover, but it was his first time seeing such a strong wine. Just then, Su Yun's pupils suddenly dilated. He immediately used his qi, secretly forcing the wine out of his stomach, storing it in his mouth. Taking advantage of the fact that the three people in front of him were not paying attention, he quickly evaporated the wine in his mouth. There seemed to be other ingredients in the wine. It did not seem like it was placed when the wine was being brewed, but more like it was placed after. Although it was not poison, it was not a tonic either. Is this the innkeeper's doing? Impossible. Why would the innkeeper put it there? Su Yun secretly sized up the three people who were still drinking. After thinking about it, he decided not to drink anymore, and only pretended to pour the wine into his mouth, and when they were unprepared, he would evaporate it and not enter his stomach. After 3 rounds of wine, everyone stood up. Guanzi, who threw a small bag of spirit coins, he burped and left. Guanzi, who drank until he was full, but no one was drunk. This was probably the regret of having a high cultivation level. It was hard to get drunk when drinking, unless it was spirit wine brewed with expensive ingredients. Only then would the spirit cultivators feel the pleasure of being drunk. Continuing on their way, everyone's speed increased by a lot. Jieshue and Guanzi, who seemed to have just met, but Guanzi who liked Jieshue, so the two of them started to chat. "Master Sly." Just then, a light voice came out from the side. Su Yun turned to look, only to see Su Yulang flying to his side, unknowingly. "Master Su, what's wrong?" "Master Sly, this Master Jieshue. Have you interacted much with him in the past?" "About this, not much." Su Yun's face was perspiring. He had never seen him before, or rather, he did not know if Sly had interacted with Jieshue before. "I'm a newly promoted sect elite that followed Master Guan. Although Master Guan seems to like Master Jieshue a lot, but I feel that there is something wrong with Master Jieshue." Su Yulang said softly. "Something wrong?" Su Yun was startled. It seemed like Su Yulang was not familiar with Jieshue. But come to think of it, it was true. It was said that the top-ranked sect elites rarely interacted with others, and were extremely arrogant. Other than the clan elders and sect leaders, they did not submit to anyone, and naturally, they would not place any weaker sect elites in their eyes. Su Yulang and Guanzi, who were much weaker than Jie Shui. The disparity in strength was extremely large. Even if he was a kind person, he should not be so close to Guanzi, who, right? Could it be that his personality was like that? Su Yun frowned, but did not reply to Su Yulang. He only shook his head and flew away. Su Yulang did not say anything to Su Yun and continued to follow behind without saying a word. Suddenly, a dense blood stench floated up from below. Su Yulang sniffed and said, "There's the smell of blood. There seems to be a battle below. Where are all the disciples?" Jie Shui shouted, "Disciple is here." The 10 disciples at the back immediately shouted, "Go take a look." Yes. 5 of the 10 disciples quickly flew down, and after 7 to 8 breaths of time, the disciples flew back, and the leading disciple cupped his fists and spoke respectfully. "Reporting to Master, there is a village below, and we have discovered that our sect's disciples are massacring the village." Massacring the village? Jie Shui frowned. Why are they massacring the village for no reason? If word of this spreads, it will throw the face of our profound sky sect. Guanzi, who snorted, then immediately flew down. "Masters, let us go down and take a look," Jie Shui said to Su Yulang and Su Yun. The two of them nodded and descended together. In the blink of an eye, a group of people landed at the entrance of the village, only to see the flames soaring to the sky. A large number of corpses strewn all over the place. Out of the 100 people in the village, only 10 were left, their entire bodies trembling, holding onto pickaxes and shovels. Using them as weapons, they trembled as they looked at the cultivators slowly walking towards them. All of the spirit cultivators were disciples of the profound sky sect. All of them were dressed in the uniform of the sect. There were both males and females. All of them had sinister smiles on their faces. They pulled out their swords and walked towards the helpless villagers. "Stop!" Su Yun immediately bellowed. "Huh, there's someone here." All of them were startled. They turned to look at them, and when they saw the order badges on their waists, all of them were stunned. They anxiously threw their blades and swords, kneeled down, and greeted respectfully. "Disciple greets Master Sect Elite." "We greet Master Sect Elite." All of them shouted out. Su Yun looked around, only to see blood everywhere. More than half of the roof tiles were destroyed. The ground was littered with corpses, causing his heart to tremble. Slaughtering the entire village. And all of them were people who did not have any spirit cultivators. Such actions were something that even a spirit cultivator who had just entered the sect would not do. Even if it was a spirit demon, evil, or devil, they would not do such a thing. If they wanted to kill, they should kill the cultivators, and not these people. All of this was done by you guys. Guanzi, who walked over, looked around, and asked. Hearing that, all of the 20 profound sky sect disciples started to tremble, and even their words started to tremble. That master. We were ordered by a direct disciple to come here to collect perching phoenix blood. The disciple in front kneeled on the ground and stuttered. Direct disciple? Which direct disciple? Guanzi, who snorted. Dai Tu Lu, Master Dot. Scram. Guanzi, who kicked out, directly kicking the disciple's chest, and with a kacha sound, the disciple's chest instantly caved in. He was sent flying, crashing through 2 houses, and landed on a tree far away. Before falling down, he rolled a few rounds on the ground and immediately fainted. Who the hell is Dai Tu Lu? My disciple's disciple. You guys actually dare to call him master in front of me. He's my grandson. Do you understand? Guanzi, whose eyes were wide open, and he roared in anger. Hearing that, the disciples started to tremble even more. Seeing the reactions of the disciples, Guanzi, whose boorish face became slightly better, he nodded his head in satisfaction and said, That's right. What did you guys say just now? Dai Tu Lu wanted you guys to take the perching phoenix blood? Why? Don't tell me the people in this village, reporting to Master. The people in this village are people with perching phoenix blood meridians. Senior brother Dai Tu Lu needs the perching phoenix blood to cultivate, and wanted us to collect it. So we found this village. One of them said carefully. So it's like that. Guanzi, who scratched his chin, he suddenly thought of something. He turned and excitedly spoke to Jie Shui, Su Yun, and the rest. Everyone, have you guys tried the Phoenix Blood Wine before? Phoenix Blood Wine? Jie Shui was startled. He then said, "Don't tell me." That's right. Guanzi, who laughed and suddenly turned around, punching toward the right. The few villagers that were standing were immediately smashed into minced meat by the fist energy. Blood and minced meat splattered everywhere. Su Yun was startled. Perching phoenix blood is the best ingredient to brew phoenix blood wine. I never thought that the people here would actually have the perching phoenix blood meridians. We are truly lucky. Guanzi, who said excitedly, then shouted towards the disciples, "Quickly, go and fill all the phoenix perching blood in this village into a jar, then carry it to our jade platform. I want to use it to brew wine. As for that Dai, Tulu, you guys go and tell him. I will make him scram." With that, Guanzi, who immediately soared into the sky and left. "Yes, sir." All the disciples kowtowed and replied respectfully. The village became quiet. The only thing that could not be dispersed was the smell of blood. Su Yun stood rooted to the ground, looking at the mud and mess, the slowly flowing blood. A complicated look flashed in his eyes. So in this world, humans are scarier than evil spirits. Evil spirits will openly admit to their evil deeds, even after committing such heinous crimes. However, after humans commit such crimes, they will continue to whitewash themselves, pretending to be a gentleman, calling on all living beings to fight against evil, putting themselves, who are even more evil, on the side of justice. Ling Qingyu's voice suddenly sounded out in Su Yun's mind. But this time, Su Yun did not refute. He took a deep breath, looked at the disciples who had stood up and were preparing to collect the blood. He secretly clenched his fists, looked up to the sky, seeing that Guanzi, Hu, and the rest were already in the air. He said, "Bury all the corpses in the village. There's no need to collect the perching phoenix blood anymore." All the disciples raised their heads and looked at Su Yun in astonishment. "Do as I say," Su Yun said indifferently, then stood up and flew into the sky. Chapter 351. He, Su Yun, who kills without batting an eye, actually has such a merciful side. It truly surprises me. Ling Qingyu's voice came out again. "Although I have killed countless of people, but that depends on who they are. I have my own Tao. Some people do not deserve to be killed, and some people deserve to die." Su Yun said softly. Hearing that, Ling Qingyu, who was inside the sword sheath, was startled. She then realized that although Su Yun had killed people like flies, he had never harmed an innocent person. Maybe he had his own thoughts, but no one could understand them. Just then, laughter came out from the front. "Phoenix blood wine. I really want to try it. Master Guan, did you personally brew it this time? I'm so lucky." Jie Shui laughed. Master Jie Shui, you and I are both wine lovers. How can I forget about you with good wine? Let me tell you, this Phoenix blood wine is a good thing. After drinking it, it can even increase your cultivation. When the time comes, you must definitely drink a few more bowls, Guanzi, who laughed out loud, then looked at Su Yu Lang and Su Yun. Master Su and Master Sly must come when the time comes. This thing is not something that you can drink whenever you want. If you miss this opportunity, you won't get another chance. Yes. Su Yu Lang lightly nodded his head. Su Yun did not say anything. Just then, a disciple flew over and cupped his fists towards them. Reporting to Masters, "We are about to reach the demonic skeletal bones cave battlefield." "Good. Immediately inform the people over there. Let them prepare." Jie Shui said. Yes. The disciple flew down. Everyone went past the mountain and continued forward. The sky became dusky. The ground beneath them became dark red. The ground was desolate, and the surroundings became strange. A series of explosions rang out at the foot of the not-so-tall mountain in the distance. Just then, a ray of green light shot into the sky, straight into the clouds, and a shrill scream came out. "You hypocrites of the profound sky sect! Even if you kill this king will never bow down to you. Just you wait. I will definitely take revenge on all of you sinners. Just you wait." The screams were hysterical and lasted for a moment. Then a violent explosion rippled out, and the earth trembled violently. A powerful airflow blossomed from the green light and blew in all directions. Some of the mountain tops were torn apart, and sand and stones flew in all directions. The world became dark, and the scene was incomparably chaotic. An inexplicable wail rang out. Suyin smelled the sorrow and was shocked. A first-stage spirit star realm cultivator had fallen. Master Zhong truly lives up to his name. You have already taken down the Skeleton King demon with the great negative Yang immortal cannon? Just right, Jie Shui said as his lips curled into a smile. He waved his hand. Everyone, hurry up and welcome Master Zhong. Yes, everyone shouted and rushed towards the demonic skeletal bones cave. Nearing the demonic skeletal bones cave, they could see that the ground was riddled with battle scars. Many of the demonic skeletal bones demons with pitch-black bones and tattered armor appeared in Su Yun's vision. He looked around and saw that all of the demonic skeletal bones demons were dead. Many of the profound sky sect disciples were cleaning up the battlefield, taking out the useful things from the demonic skeletal bones demons, but the majority of them were injured and looked extremely miserable. Aside from the corpses of the demonic skeletal bones demons, there was a large amount of blood and the corpses of the profound sky sect disciples that had not been collected. Even if the profound sky sect managed to break through the demonic skeletal bones cave, they must have paid a huge price. When they saw Jie Shui and the rest approaching, all of the disciples stopped what they were doing and knelt down, kowtowing to them. "We greet Master," they shouted out. "Where is Zhong? Where is Zhong? Haha, I want to see what the great negative Yang immortal cannon looks like. Quickly tell me where Zhong is." Guanzi, who shouted loudly, his eyes filled with unconcealable excitement. "Master Zhong is still fighting at the front lines. We are just disciples in charge of logistics," a disciple said with a hoarse voice. The wound on his shoulder had turned black, as though he was poisoned. It would take a long time to heal, and he no longer had the strength to fight. "Still at the front lines?" Guanzi, who was slightly unhappy. "The demonic skeletal bones demon is already dead. Why is he still at the front lines?" "All right, Master Guan, don't be anxious. We will go find Master Zhong now." Jie Shui laughed. He ignored the disciples and headed straight for the front lines. Then, before they could even take a few steps, a dense and intense black smoke suddenly erupted from the front lines, and many panicked shouts and screams came out. Plop! A strange sound came out from the screams. "What's going on?" Guanzi, who was startled. "Be careful, the black smoke is poisonous." Su Yulang sensed that something was amiss. His face changed as he anxiously shouted. With that said, everyone instigated their profound spirit chi and formed a chi barrier around themselves to isolate the poisonous chi. The disciples did the same, but a portion of them who were heavily injured and had exhausted their profound spirit chi were unable to isolate the chi and were engulfed by the black smoke. Their skin started to crack. They instantly fell to the ground and twitched a few times. Their flesh and blood dissolved, leaving behind only white bones. They were completely dead. Seeing that, everyone's face changed. "Retreat! Everyone retreat!" A disciple shouted to the others. "Not good. Master Zhong is in trouble." Another voice came out. Everyone turned to look. An elite disciple wrapped in chi barrier ran over anxiously and anxiously spoke to Jie Shui and the rest. "Masters! Not good. Not good." The demonic skeletal bones demon that was beheaded by Master Zhong suddenly exploded the demonic skeletal bones demon chi in its body. Master Zhong was not able to dodge in time and was invaded by the demonic chi and is now in danger. "Masters, quickly go and save Master Zhong. Quickly go and save him." "What?" Hearing that, Jie Shui's face changed. He did not ask anything and immediately rushed towards Master Zhong. The 10 elite disciples activated mystical techniques together, intending to blow away the demonic poison, but the demonic poison was not simple, and the wind could not move it. Helpless, the profound sky sect disciples could only choose to retreat. When Su Yun followed Jie Shui and the rest to Master Zhong, they saw that Master Zhong was already surrounded by 7 elite disciples. His entire skin had already turned pitch black, and his skin had cracked open. Blood red and slender cracks spread all over his body like a spider web. 7 elite disciples were sitting around him, and were currently working together to instill profound energy into his body, helping him resist the demonic poison that had invaded his body. Everyone was also enveloped by a layer of chi barrier formed by a magic treasure, isolating them from the poisonous gas. The 7 disciples gave it their all, but were unable to expel the demonic poison. The 7 of them were all injured and were like arrows at the end of their flight. "What's going on?" Jie Shui frowned and asked. Is it a master sent by the sect?" The 7 elite disciples all opened their eyes and looked at Jie Shui and the rest in shock. Then, Guanzi, whose actions made them extremely disappointed. "Weaklings, we were not sent by the sect to support you. We were ordered by the sect to escort the great negative yang immortal cannon." Guanzi, who pushed Jie Shui aside and walked towards the 7 of them. At the same time, his face revealed a fearful and fanatical expression. "All right, Master Zhong, is the great negative yang immortal cannon here? Quickly hand it over to me. We will escort it back to the Lord." "You guys." Zhong, who was covered in the black demonic chi, tried his best to open his eyes. Seeing Guanzi, whose impudence, a trace of anger flashed past his pitch-black eyes, but at the moment he could not even protect himself. So how could he be angry at Guanzi, who? "Save me." The Skeleton King demon exploded its own demonic chi. "My spirit essences were corroded by the demonic chi. If there is no stronger profound spirit chi to help me force out the demonic chi that invaded my body, my cultivation will definitely drop. Masters, quickly save me." Zhong used a pleading tone to call out. With just the elite disciples who were injured, it was impossible to save him. Only the 4 of them who were also elites of the sect could help Zhong. "Where is the great negative yang immortal cannon?" Jie Shui smiled. He ignored Zhong's words and went straight to the point. "It's here." Zhong raised his hand weakly and gently opened it up. A dazzling gold blossomed in his palm. Looking carefully, one could see that it was a golden porcelain bowl. When it appeared, Jie Shui and Guanzi, whose breathing immediately became tense. Even Su Yulang looked at it in a daze. The 3 of them were completely fixated on it, unable to shift their gazes away. Plop! Guanzi, who shot forward and snatched the great negative yang immortal cannon from Zhong's hand, and held it tightly in his hand. "All right, sirs, please help me quickly. Quickly help me force out the demonic poison." Zhong shouted weakly. But what he got in return was Jie Shui's cold and terrifying smile. "I'm sorry, Master Zhong. We were ordered to come here to escort the great negative yang immortal cannon. We did not receive any orders to save you, and saving you will exhaust a lot of our profound spirit force. If we do, and meet with danger on the road, wouldn't we be in trouble? So for the sake of safety, we can only endure the pain and refuse to save you," Jie Shui said with a smile. Zhong's eyes opened wide. He could not believe what he was hearing. "My own sect's people are actually watching me die. How can you do that?" The 7 elite disciples were startled. They looked at Jie Shui in shock. "This great negative yang immortal cannon. We will hand it over to the Lord." Guanzi, who laughed. "The great negative yang immortal cannon that I and the other disciples fought so hard to obtain is actually going to be taken away by you. I never thought that you would be such people. I am not willing. I am not willing." Zhong let out a pained and angry roar, but it was useless. At this moment, there was nothing he could do. Su Yun, who was disguised as Sly, was shocked. Could it be that they were afraid that Zhong would take away their credit, and thus did not save him? Is it about time? Just then, Jie Shui suddenly raised his head and looked at the 10 elite disciples behind him. His words were so strange that Guanzi, Hu, and Su Yulang did not understand. However, those elite disciples nodded their heads, and then uniformly surrounded Zhong. They all took out their weapons, and magic treasures that emitted destructive dark force appeared one after another. "Do it!" Jie Shui brandished out a sharp dark blue dagger. He muttered, then smiled at Zhong and walked over with the dagger. Seeing that, Zhong's eyes immediately widened. "Jie Shui, what are you doing?" Chapter 352. Of course it's to do what I've always wanted to do. Jie Shui sneered. His arm moved, and the dagger was like a venomous snake, directly piercing into Zhong's heart. The profound spirit chi revolving around the dagger was activated, and like lightning, it spread through Zhong's entire body. Everywhere it passed, everything was ripped apart, and in a breath of time, Zhong's body was torn into pieces. Countless of his body parts were forcefully torn apart by the profound spirit chi. It was extremely tragic. Zhong was dead. Guanzi, who was startled. Su Yulang was also startled. Su Yun was even more startled. His mind was in a daze. His thoughts could no longer keep up with what was happening in front of him. Pucci, Pucci, Pucci. 7 heads fell to the ground. The 7 disciples who were guarding Zhong were all killed by the 10 elite disciples. The 7 of them were injured and had gone through a huge battle. How could they fight against the 10 of them? It was reasonable for them to be killed so quickly. Seeing the corpses and the blood flowing out, Guanzi, who regained his senses, and asked in shock, Master Jie Shui, what are you doing? What am I doing? Isn't it obvious? Jie Shui walked over and picked up Zhong's sect elite badge and chuckled. Zhong brought our sect's disciples to fight against the Skeleton King demon, and after obtaining the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon, he became a heretic and wanted to take the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon for himself. So he massacred our sect's disciples, destroyed the sect elite badge, and escaped with the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon. Now, his whereabouts are unknown. Don't you know? With that said, Jie Shui clenched his hand, and Zhong's sect elite badge instantly shattered. Guanzi, who was not an idiot, upon hearing Jie Shui's words, he immediately understood Jie Shui's intentions. Jie Shui wanted to take the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon for himself, and then push the blame onto Zhong. Go, kill the remaining disciples of our sect outside. Jie Shui turned and spoke to the 10 elite disciples. Yes, the 10 disciples nodded their heads and quickly escaped out of the demonic poison grounds. Soon, miserable screams and cries of alarm could be heard from all directions. The massacre had begun. Master Jie Shui, don't tell me you plan to take the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon for yourself? Guanzi, who looked at Jie Shui in shock. Take it for myself? No, no, no. Of course not. Such a treasure is not something I can handle alone. Master Guan, I'm only doing this because I want this treasure to belong to us. Now, Zhong is already dead. All the disciples who participated in the battle are dead. No one knows the truth of the matter. No one knows where the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon has gone to, right? Jie Shui said with a smile. But there's only one Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon, and now there are 4 of us. How do we split it? Guanzi, who said with a pale face, for people? Master Guan, I have no use for this Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon. Only an existence like you is worthy of it. Now, I can help you obtain this treasure. You just need to promise me one thing, and that is when I am in danger, use your Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon to help me. That will do. How about it? Why you plan to give me the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon? Guanzi, who immediately revealed a shocked expression, but an unconcealable passion surfaced in his eyes. Of course. Jie Shui laughed. I heard people say that you have a precious jade that can conceal the spirit chi of treasures. The grade of the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon is too high. If I were to wear it, I will definitely be discovered. And only you, who has the precious jade, can carry it if I don't give it to you. Who else can I give it to? Why, you're right. But what if you go back on your word? Guanzi, who seemed to be moved, but his voice was filled with hesitation. Go back on my word? What can you use to go back on my word? You have the Great Negative Yang Immortal Cannon. How can I dare to go against you? Jie Shui's mouth curled up. No, Master Guan, don't listen to his nonsense. He is using you. Jie Shui is a man who hides daggers behind his smiles. He is extremely shrewd. You must never trust him. Su Yulang, who had been silent the entire time, could no longer hold it in and anxiously shouted. But his words did not pull back Guanzi, who was slowly losing himself. We don't have much time. Zhong's order badge has already been destroyed. The sect has already sensed that something has happened here. If you don't take action now, it will be too late. Jieshue's expression suddenly changed. He became sinister. He stared at Su Yulang and immediately made his move. His hand formed into a claw that was infused with spirit qi. He fiercely pounced towards him. Jieshue, seems like you truly do not plan to let us go. Su Yulang's reaction was not weak. The moment Jieshue made his move, he also made his move. Raising both of his palms, his 10 fingers extended out with 10 blood-red bone blades, like sharp claws. They clashed with Jieshue. Clang! Jieshue's attack was blocked. The bone claws were extremely stable. Su Yulang's strength was not ordinary. Humph, you have some skills. Jieshue laughed. Although I'm a newly promoted sect elite, but to be able to be ranked 45th after just being promoted is not an undeserved reputation. Jieshue, if you look down on me, you will suffer greatly. Su Yulang roared, his other hand directly piercing towards Jieshue's heart. He had always been quiet like a virgin, not moving like the wind, but when a battle erupted, he was like a maniac. No matter how strong his opponent was, he was not afraid at all. Then, just as Su Yulang was about to attack, a steel fist covered in flames suddenly came from the side. What? Su Yulang's eyes widened. Boom! The steel fist smashed onto his chest. The blazing flames drilled into his body like worms, burning his internal organs, blood vessels, and spirit essences. Puchi! Su Yulang spat out a mouthful of blood. His entire being was flung out, fiercely crashing onto the ground and twitching. Fire poison. Su Yin stared at Su Yulang's face and said. The skin on his entire body was extremely red. He was twitching nonstop. His chest had caved in. He had already lost half of his fighting strength. Su Yulang wanted to stand up, but Jieshue had already rushed over and crushed the bones in his arms. Ah! Su Yulang's shrill cries resounded. He raised his blood-red eyes and stared at the person who ambushed him, Guanzi Hu. Master Guan, you and I entered the sect together through thick and thin for so many years. I never thought that you would actually betray me for a great negative yang immortal canon. You despicable person, you'll die a horrible death. You'll die a horrible death. Su Yulang screamed out, his eyes filled with hatred. Don't blame me, Lord Su. I have no choice. Such a good treasure is right in front of me. If you want me to just let it slip away, I won't do it. So, I'll have to trouble you this time. Guanzi, who said expressionlessly, and then walked towards Su Yulang. He did not hesitate at all. He did not show any mercy. The killing intent in his eyes was extremely dense. He did not care about the relationship between the two of them. Su Yulang stared at Guanzi, who his eyes filled with sorrow and pain. Crack! A clear and crisp sound came out. Following that, Su Yulang's body fell to the ground, completely motionless. His heart was still beating weakly, but in such a situation, he was not far from death. Su Yun watched the scene quietly. He did not run. He did not scream. His face did not reveal any fear. The ruthlessness of the profound Sky Sect's people had far exceeded his imagination. Ha ha! Master Guan, I truly did not misjudge you. Well done. Well done. Ha ha! Jieshue laughed out loud. Guanzi who laughed, then turned his gaze to Su Yun and said, All right, I have dealt with Su Yulang. You can go and deal with Sly. Relax, relax. I will take care of Sly. But before that, shouldn't you give me the great negative yang immortal canon? Jieshue crossed his arms and said with a ridiculing look, Get to you? Guanzi, who was startled, Master Jieshue, didn't you say you were going to give it to me? I said it casually, and you believe me? Hee, you truly are a one-track-minded creature. What do you mean? Guanzi, whose face changed. What do I mean? You still don't know? Idiot, you have already dealt with Su Yulang and saved me a lot of trouble. Now, it is time for me to take care of you. Jieshue sneered, then walked towards Guanzi who. Jieshue, why didn't you say that you are unable to conceal the spirit qi of the great negative yang immortal canon, and that taking it will attract countless of troubles? Idiot, as long as I snatch your precious jade, won't all the problems be solved? Jieshue looked at Guanzi who, as if he was looking at an idiot. You are too despicable. You dare to trick me. But, Do you think I will be afraid of you? You and I are only 10 ranks apart, and I have the great negative yang immortal cannon in my hands. How can I be afraid of you? Guanzi, who clenched his teeth and said. Jie Shui squinted his eyes. His laughter became even more disdainful. I said you are an idiot, and you still don't admit it? How do you think Zhong killed the Skeleton King Demon? It was because he sent a few disciples to lure the Skeleton King Demon into using the great negative yang immortal cannon that allowed him to kill the Skeleton King Demon. Currently, the great negative yang immortal cannon is still in cooldown and cannot be activated, and you want to rely on him to deal with me? Wishful thinking. Furthermore, Jie Shui waved his hand, and a bit of blood mist floated out. When Guanzi, who smelled the blood mist, he was startled. Before he could say anything, he felt the qi channels in his body rupturing. The profound spirit qi in his body was in chaos, and he could no longer gather any profound spirit qi. What happened to me? What did you do? Guanzi, who screamed. Nothing much. I just sprinkled some medicine on you. Master Guan, do you still remember the spirit flower wine that we drank in the restaurant? Jie Shui laughed. Is there poison in the wine? There is no poison in the wine. It was just mixed with some seasonings, and adding the blood powder, it became poisonous. For the great negative yang immortal cannon, I had prepared for a long time, and had already bought the restaurant. I had also predicted that you would be so noisy about drinking. That was why I brought you there. Out of the few of you, you are the hardest to deal with. Once I get rid of you, everything will be easy. With that, Jie Shui walked over and directly kicked Guanzi, who and took the great negative yang immortal cannon from his hands. Guanzi, whose guts were about to explode, he was enraged, his chest was about to explode, but what could he do at the moment? Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something. He turned his head, only to see Su Yun standing there, and shouted, Master Sly, this man is crafty and cunning. He is vicious and merciless. He intends to obtain the profound sky sex treasure. Why don't we join hands and get rid of him? Ha ha, with just him? A trash that only knows how to pretend. An existence at the bottom of the sex elites. I can kill him with one finger, and you are actually placing your hopes on him. What a joke, ha! Jie Shui laughed out loud. Su Yun. Chapter 353. Is this considered looking down on me? Su Yun looked around and asked casually. Yes. Jie Shui smiled and walked towards Su Yun. You also smelled the blood powder, but you did not have any reaction, so it can be seen that you did not drink the wine. I sensed that the wine had a strange smell, so just in case, I did not drink it. Oh, you are very alert, but even if you did not drink the wine, I can still easily take care of you. Jie Shui laughed. But, Sly, I can actually give you a way out. If you hand over your treasure shapeshift bone piece, I will not kill you, of course. The condition of letting you live is that you must leave the profound sky sect. What do you think? Nothing much. Su Yun shook his head. You just went back on your words. How can I believe you? Furthermore, you can't kill me? Can't kill you? Jie Shui was startled, then laughed out loud. Sly, where do you get your confidence from? You dare to say that I can't kill you? Ha ha ha, that's too funny. Since it's like that, then let me test your strength. With that said, his face immediately turned sinister, and a ferocious iron fist flew towards Su Yun. The profound spirit qi was like the claws of a cheetah. It could not be blocked. But, just as it was about to strike Su Yun's heart, a palm gently enveloped it. A large amount of profound spirit qi flowed into the palm, forcefully pushing back the power of Jie Shui's fist. Jie Shui's attack was broken. What? His eyes were wide open, his face full of shock. Just like that, Su Yun frowned. He clenched his fist tightly, then extended his other hand and pressed onto Jie Shui's other shoulder. Jie Shui's left arm was completely cut off. Ah! He screamed in pain, his face contorting. Su Yun released his fist, causing Jie Shui to retreat a few steps. He held onto his bleeding arm and looked at Su Yun in pain. His eyes no longer had any fervor and ferocity. It was replaced by shock and confusion. How is that possible? Why your strength? Why is it so strong? You're Sly? Isn't Sly ranked 73? Why does he have such shocking strength? He screamed frantically. Jiao doesn't have that kind of strength. Su Yin took the left arm that he removed from Jie Shui's body and opened the palm of the left arm. He took the golden bowl in his palm and looked at it for a moment before throwing it into his storage ring. He then looked at Jie Shui. But I have it. Who are you? Jie Shui clenched his teeth and asked. He already understood that this person was not the Jiao, but an imposter. The man extended his hand into his storage ring and slowly took out a pitch-black sword sheath. He placed it by his side, and with a wave of his hand, he touched the sword sheath with lightning speed, causing a blood-red sword to fly out and attack Jie Shui. So. At the same time, a large number of sub-swords flew out from the sword sheath, following the blood-red sword to kill Jie Shui. It was a huge scene. Limitless? Su Yun. You are Su Yun. Jie Shui instantly understood the man's true identity. What? Su Yun? Guanzi, who was also stunned, his tiger-like eyes stared at Su Yun and said in shock, You? How can you be Su Yun? Jiao. Where's Lord Jiao? Where's Jiao? But Guanzi did not wait for Su Yun's reply, but instead heard Jie Shui's screams. Over 1,000 swords flew over and smashed onto Jie Shui, who attempted to conjure up a profound spirit chi shield to defend against the swords, but the moment the shield appeared, it was shattered, and he was pierced by the swords, nailing him to the ground. It's useless, Jie Shui. Su Yun is an existence that can even defeat the Spirit Demon Emperor. It is said that he is a third-stage spirit star realm cultivator. You are definitely not his opponent, definitely not. Now, you are the same as me, a fish on a chopping block. Ha ha! Guanzi, who regained his senses, seeing Jie Shui in such a state, he immediately released an ear-piercing laughter. Ignoring the fact that Su Yun was not poisoned, even if he was, Jie Shui, who is not even a first-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator, would not be a match for a third-stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. Seeing Su Yun walking towards him step by step, Jie Shui's shocked face gradually calmed down. Slowly, his mouth curved into a smile, and a strange laughter came out from his mouth. I truly never thought that after all my calculations, I would still fail in the end. How could I have thought that the real Sly is already dead, and this imposter is actually Su Yun? The Profound Sky sect thought of all sorts of ways to capture me, and even massacre the entire Su family to lure me out. I cannot continue to be passive. It is time for me to strike. Su Yun stood in front of Jie Shui. He raised the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword and pierced towards his shoulder. Pucci! The sharp sword blade pierced through his shoulder. Jie Shui trembled in pain, but he did not cry out. He tensed his mind and forced out a smile. I dare to guarantee that the person that the Profound Sky sect has dealt with the most headaches in the past few years will definitely be you. I will not only give the Profound Sky sect headaches. Su Yun slowly moved the sword hilt. The sword blade started to cut along his shoulder and gradually moved towards his neck. The lacerations and blood that flowed out formed a strange scene, causing everyone's scalps to go numb. Guanzi, who swallowed his saliva, his heart was already beating frantically. He had long heard of Su Yun being an evil realm being, but never thought that he would be so evil. Shio! The sword was suddenly raised, blood splattered in the sky. Following the pada sound, Jie Shui was completely dead. He had killed one. Su Yun's eyes were calm. He turned and walked towards Guanzi, who, since you have revealed your identity, then you definitely do not plan to leave anyone alive. Do it, Su Yun, to be able to die in your hands. I do not feel wronged. Guanzi, whose entire body twitched, and said weakly, My sword will be dyed with your blood. It makes me feel disgusted. Su Yun said indifferently. You, Guanzi, who was enraged. As an expert that is about to step into the Spirit Star realm, you actually wantonly kill for the sake of your appetite. Even if you are a devil or an evil being, you will never act like you. People like you truly make me feel ashamed. The moment he said that, the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword pierced towards Guanzi, whose throat like lightning. Before Guanzi, who could finish speaking, his chest was pierced by the sword. Following that, the sword tip fell down, and the sword blade directly sliced through his throat, and his body was immediately sliced into two. Blood flowed out. Everything was over. No one would have thought that Sly was not the Sly that they knew, but the Su Yun that the profound Sky sect had racked their brains to capture. He stood up and walked over, taking down Guanzi, whose storage ring. He rummaged through it. A purple gold precious jade was taken out by him. The precious jade is able to release such a dense yet calm, profound spirit chi. If embedded on a treasure, it can truly conceal the spirit chi of the treasure. I never thought that Guanzi who would actually have such a treasure. Su Yun was shocked. He took out the great negative yang immortal cannon, placed the precious jade at the mouth of the cannon, and used his profound spirit chi to seal it. The precious jade slowly assimilated into the great negative yang immortal cannon, and the dense spirit chi of the treasure was immediately replaced by the calm, profound spirit chi. He then bit his finger and squeezed out a drop of blood onto the center of the great negative yang immortal cannon. The cannon immediately transformed into a gold light and entered Su Yun's right palm. This grade of treasure was equivalent to the heavenly crystal sprite's shadow, and before using it, one had to establish a connection with it. If not, they would not be able to control it. Su Yun looked at the golden mark on his palm and was ecstatic. Good. After dealing with Jie Shui and Guanzi, Su Yun looked left and right, then pulled out the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword and unleashed the stormy wind sword technique on Jie Shui's corpse. A series of chi-chi sounds came out like a torrential rain, and Jie Shui's corpse was instantly sliced into pieces. Su Yun extended his hand out and released his profound spirit chi, turning all the pieces and Jie Shui's elite badge into sand. Then he wiped the blood off the immortal mystical scarlet blood sword and kept it back into the sword sheath and kept the sword sheath in his storage ring. He returned to Su Yulang's side, seeing that Su Yulang was still unconscious and the fire poison in his body was about to burn his heart. Su Yun took out a few pills from his storage ring and stuffed them into his mouth. At the same time, he activated the Monarch Occult Force and slapped the top of Su Yulang's head, imbuing waves of spirit life, chi, to heal him. After a few breaths of time, he retracted his palm, but did not disperse the profound spirit chi in his palm. Instead, he turned around and slapped himself, causing a few palm prints to appear on his body, causing some blood to flow out. Then, he activated the shape-shifting bonelet again, transforming into Sly, and laid on the ground, unmoving. The poison chi gradually dispersed, and the two of them fell to the ground. Su Yulang's fire poison had been cleansed, and he had regained some consciousness, but his injuries were still severe, and he could only open his eyes and look around. "Master Slime, Master Guan," Su Yulang called out weakly, but no one answered him. The desolate scene entered Su Yulang's eyes, and he seemed to have guessed something. After an unknown period of time, a few light auras descended from the sky and landed on the ground. There were a total of 4 people, 3 males and 1 female. Ranked 44, Master Lianyu. Ranked 50, Master Gumo Duo. Ranked 49, Master Zhangzhangxin. Master Baili, you're here too? Su Yulang tried his best to open his eyes. Looking at the 4 people flying over, a glimmer of hope surfaced in his eyes. What exactly happened? There are 10 disciples outside, massacring our sect disciples. We have killed 7 of them, and captured 3 of them alive. Aren't they disciples under Master Jie Shui? Why would they do such a thing? Lianyu, who was dressed in purple, asked with a clear voice. Her face had some baby fat. Her appearance was pretty. Her lips were red and teeth were white, and her figure was tall and slender. Don't ask, save them first. Rank 20 by Li Tian bellowed. The 3 of them nodded their heads and immediately took out medicine to treat their wounds. Master Bai Li, Master Guan is dead. Master Sly is still alive. Quick, save him. You must save him. Bai Li Tian bellowed. Yes. The 3 of them nodded their heads. After an hour, Su Yulang had already regained the strength to speak. He laid on the ground, gasping for breath. His face was extremely pale. Seeing that he was fine, everyone surrounded Sly. Bai Li Tian walked to Su Yu Lang with congealed eyes. Master Su, what exactly happened? Why are all you like this? And where is Master Jie Shui? Jie Shui. Su Yu Lang's eyes were filled with endless rage and hatred. He clenched his teeth and said, "That traitor Jie Shui." Master Zhong risked his life to kill the Skeleton King demon and was heavily injured. Not only did Jie Shui not save Master Zhong, he even sneaked an attack on us. He set up a scheme. After killing Master Zhong, he wants to kill us, with the intention to take the great negative yang immortal cannon for himself. Jie Shui, he has already betrayed the profound sky sect. What? Bai Li Tian and the other three were shocked. Chapter 354. Yes, Jie Shui even bewitched Guan Zihu and used him to get rid of me and Master Su. After we fell, he immediately ambushed Guan Zihu and killed him. Then he destroyed his own sect elite badge and escaped with the great negative yang immortal cannon. In the sky, Su Yun, who was being carried by a few elite disciples, held onto his chest and spoke weakly to Gu Mo Duo and Zhang Chong Xian. Damn it! The two of them clenched their teeth, their expressions filled with anger. I never thought that Jie Shui would actually have second thoughts. To betray the sect, that is truly unexpected. Bai Li Tian said solemnly. Master Bai Li, we need to quickly report this to the sect leader and request for him to give the order to immediately capture Jie Shui. Lian Yu said, That's right. Bai Li Tian nodded his head. In a while, arrange for Master Sly and Master Su to be treated. I will go meet the sect leader and inform him of this matter. As for the other three disciples, hand them over to the law enforcement team and let them investigate the cause and effect of this matter. Then, make a decision. All right. Lian Yu and the rest nodded their heads. The group of them quickly headed towards the Profound Sky sect. Back at the Profound Sky sect, Su Yun was arranged to stay in the healing hall of the sect, where a few delicate and pretty female disciples were setting up arrays and concocting pills for him. Although the facilities in the healing hall were more complete, the healing methods of the people were still lacking compared to Blossom Heart Valley, but it was sufficient. Su Yun's current injuries were all faked, and after 7 to 8 days, he had more or less recovered and returned to his own Jade platform. In the meantime, the law enforcement team came to interrogate him, but there were no important points. Su Yun's confession was the same as what they had guessed. Jie Shui wanted to kill Su Yun after killing Guan Zihu, but Su Yun did not die, and Jie Shui left with the great negative yang immortal cannon. With the three disciples of Jie Shui and Su Yu Lang as witnesses, the matter of the great negative yang immortal cannon being taken away by Jie Shui was confirmed, and no one would suspect Sly. Taking advantage of this time, Su Yun started to ponder over the treasure that could break through the defense of a spirit master cultivator. Activating his chi, the great negative yang immortal cannon was activated, and the gold seal in his palm rotated gently, transforming into a circular wheel with 3 layers of talismans. The wheel slowly absorbed the spiritual energy in the air to fill its body. When it was completely filled with spiritual energy, it could launch an even greater suction force, gathering the spiritual energy in the world and launching an attack. Currently, the great negative yang immortal cannon was extremely empty and was unable to unleash a powerful suction force to gather spirit chi, and the time it took to fill up the empty space was the time it was unable to unleash any attacks. Can this thing be manually filled? Su Yun suddenly thought of something. He extended his hand and placed it on top of the gold stamp. Then he poured his pure, profound spirit chi into it. However, what was surprising was that the profound spirit chi was like water that was poured into a bucket. All of it was absorbed by the gold seal. It can be filled by hand? Su Yun was startled. If that was the case, why didn't the Skeleton King Demon King manually fill it up and instead let it cool down? Not long after this suspicion surfaced, he had an answer. The consumption of profound spirit chi to manually fill it up was too large. Su Yun, who was a 3rd-stage spirit star realm cultivator, actually had to pour profound spirit chi into the gold seal for a full 6 hours. exhausting more than half of the profound spirit chi in his body before he could completely fill up the great negative yang immortal cannon. If it was so difficult for him, then even if the skeleton king demon king used up all of his profound spirit chi, he would not be able to fill up the treasure. After filling up the great negative yang immortal cannon, Su Yun immediately sat down cross-legged and meditated to recover. Although it consumed a lot of profound spirit chi, the recovery speed of a third-stage spirit star realm cultivator was astonishing. Adding the indestructible gold body strengthening, the chi channels were far stronger than normal. The spirit essences could release profound spirit chi without restraint, and there was no need to worry about the chi channel's endurance. Sigh. Just then a strange sound came out from his neck. It was a message from Great Obscure. Su Yun opened his eyes and took down the shadow locket on his neck and activated it. What's wrong, Great Obscure? Master, did you take action? Now that the great negative yang immortal cannon has been taken by Jie Shui, he has betrayed the profound sky sect and is currently on the run. His whereabouts are hard to find. It will be extremely difficult for us to obtain the great negative yang immortal cannon. Great Obscure said helplessly. There is no need to investigate. You guys do not need to track Jie Shui's location. From now on, this matter is officially over. Is that so? Great Obscure's voice was filled with shock, but he seemed to have guessed something. He hesitated for a moment, then said, Since it is so, I will get fourth Shadow and fifth Obscure to stop the investigation. All right, if there are any problems, you can contact me. With that, Su Yun placed the locket down. After training the house for a few days, Su Yun stood up and left the Jade platform. Although I have been in the profound sky sect for a period of time, but I do not understand the profound sky sect. If I want to take action in the future, how can I not know the terrain here? Thus, he started to wander around. Along the way, all the lower-ranked disciples would greet him, and when they met the elites, they would call him master. As for the clan elders, substitute clan elders, and the other higher-ups, they were basically nowhere to be seen. If they were not in their own cultivation grounds, even if they were on the sect leader's island, it was difficult to even see the elite disciples, much less the ordinary disciples. The place where the disciples were at was extremely chaotic, and there were fights and fights in the name of exchanging pointers. To that, the profound sky sect would only come out to persuade them, but they would not directly stop them. As long as no lives were lost, anything else was fine. Su Yun wandered around for a while, then headed towards the profound sky sect's place near the sea. It faced the sea, but there were very few buildings and few people. It was a good place to train. Such a good place, why didn't anyone move the Jade platform here? Su Yun was confused. He stepped on the inch-long grass and advanced forward, but after taking a few steps, waves of dense sword concept swept over. The sword concept was extremely profound. It was actually mixed in with the cool breeze, and if one did not use a sword, they would not be able to sense the existence of the sword concept. Although it was hard to sense, but it was a real thing, it silently suppressed the profound spirit force of the person who was enveloped by it. And for those with weak cultivations, their spirit essences would most likely be blocked by the sword concept without a sound. What a powerful sword! Su Yun muttered to himself. He did not know who released the sword chi, but he carefully advanced forward. Just then, waves of sword chi floated in front of him, directly attacking him. Su Yun calmly stepped to the side. The sword chi brushed past his chest. It looked dangerous, but he was not injured in the slightest. Oh! A surprised voice came out from the empty space, followed by the sound of something breaking through the air. In the blink of an eye, a man wielding a blue sword appeared in front of Su Yun. The man's skin was the color of wheat. He had long hair that reached his waist. Half of his face was covered by it, while the other half was extremely handsome. His eyebrows were like swords. His pupils were deep. He was dressed in a black and blue striped Blade Master outfit. He looked extremely capable and experienced. Why did you attack me? Su Yun asked. Is it right to peep on people training? The man laughed. Peep? I haven't even walked over. How can I peep? Su Yun frowned, but did not refute. The man kept the sword in his hand, looked at Su Yun, and laughed. I have never seen you before, but seeing your attire, you should not be an ordinary disciple. Who are you? Elite Sly. Elite Sly? I've never heard of you. I don't even know many people in the Profound Sky sect. If you tell me your name, maybe I will forget about it in a few days. Hearing that, Su-Yun was not angry, but asked calmly, Then who are you? Substitute clan elder Feng Lingsheng. You might not have heard of me. The man laughed. Yes. It doesn't matter if you have not heard of me. I do not appear in the sect often. It is normal that you do not know of me. Speaking of which, Sly, I saw that your move just now was not ordinary. I believe that your strength is not ordinary as well. Why don't we exchange a few moves? I am just a 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator. I am definitely not Master Feng's opponent. Su-Yun shook his head. 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm? Feng Lingsheng walked over and circled around Su-Yun, then shook his head and laughed. Master Sly, a 4th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator, is actually unable to see through the cultivation of a 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator. Do you think that is possible? Maybe you have some treasures on you, but your reaction speed just now is definitely not something a 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator can do. Hearing that, Su-Yun's eyes tensed up. I was too careless. No wonder I could not see through Feng Lingsheng's cultivation. I never thought that he would actually be a 4th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator. But since when did the Profound Sky sect have so many experts? How could any random person I met be a 4th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator? Master Sly, maybe you have your own difficulties and secrets, but please be at ease. I will not tell anyone about you being a Spirit Star Realm cultivator, but on the condition that you have to fight with me. Feng Lingsheng laughed warmly. His harmless look made people unable to be wary of him. Fight? 4th stage Spirit Star Realm? I am very curious. How can a substitute clan elder be a 4th stage Spirit Star Realm cultivator? I am afraid that even the leader of the 5 great clan elders does not have such strength, right? Su-Yin said. The reason for this is very complicated, and I will not be able to explain it to you in a short period of time. Originally, with my strength, becoming the great clan elder is extremely easy, but I am not interested. Isn't it good to be a substitute clan elder? Isn't training and drinking more freely? Being a great clan elder is so tiring. Only a fool would do it, haha. Feng Lingsheng laughed out loud. He was extremely carefree. Su-Yin did not say a word. Then let us begin. Feng Lingsheng did not seem to want to speak anymore. A sharp glint flashed past his eyes. He thrust his sword towards Su-Yun's heart. It was extremely sharp and ruthless, without any hesitation. Su-Yun immediately dodged to the side, and with a step, he dodged it. Your skills are so good, and your reaction speed is so fast. How can I believe that you are a 10th stage Spirit Soul Realm cultivator? Come, let's fight to our heart's content. Sly. Feng Lingsheng's sword body twisted, like a mystical dragon swinging its tail. The sword that was dodged actually chased after him. Su-Yun's heart tensed up. He retreated again, but the sword seemed to know where he was dodging and continued to chase after him. Feng Lingsheng did not hold back at all. If Su-Yun were to hold back, then he would truly be killed. Su-Yun did not dare to be arrogant. Since Feng Lingsheng had already said so, there was no meaning in holding back. As long as he did not reveal his identity, he believed that he would ignore it. He raised his right hand and pointed the ring on his left hand. A strand of pure divine spirit chi exploded out, and a red lightning flashed across their eyes. Pure divine spirit chi? Feng Lingsheng blurted out. What? You actually recognize this spirit chi? Su-Yin was surprised. Hee, I never thought that you would actually learn this spirit chi. That's right. That's right. Master Sly. Seems like I must fight with you today. Feng Lingsheng's mouth curled. He suddenly flicked his wrist, and the blue sword extended infinitely, like a rubber band. It flew towards Su-Yun. What a strange sword. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.